veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a...
Yes, good people, big up to all of you, and thank you so much for finding the time to be with me for this particular edition of the Blue Morning Show, where we take a look at how far we've come after week 7. Starts, player performances, and at some point as the show progresses, I will share the link. You can come on, give us your 2 cents for about a minute or two. It's a calling show. Hopefully we'll find people that be interested in participating. And once we're through with looking at the numbers, how well, who's doing better, who's leading in each of the metrics or maybe departments or whatever you want to call it, then we'll go news hunting as usual. All my friends and brothers tweet formerly Twitter, but now X timeline, to see if there's anything interesting there that we'd like to talk about. But that's, by the way, I do hope you're doing well. Sorry, I rebooted my system, so we're not going to see a lot of the fancy AI generated images that I usually show. But I will find time to do that as the show progresses. More importantly, I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you all finding the time to join us this particular morning. Please kindly take a second, drop a like on the stream, which is easy. And let me see if I have to share that. Just press and hold your screen for just about a second, and you see the option to like, dislike the video. Usually when we stream in this format, it doesn't allow us uh, it, uh, people usually don't know how to find the like button or the comment button, but it's easy. Just press and hold your screen for just about a second. So without wasting much of your time, we'll start looking at what we have here. And again, I've said hello to you all already. Okay. The first 5 teams are in the table. Top 5 teams in the table. Liverpool in first place with 18 points, followed by Manchester City 17 points, and Arsenal third place also 17 points. And Chelsea fourth place with 14 points. Had we won our last game, would be 16 points, and probably because to do that we had to score more goals, but we didn't. We could have maybe just been we would have more goal difference than Arsenal. But that's, by the way. In fifth place is Aston Villa with 14 points, the same measure of points as us. Brighton and Hove Albion, they have the 6th place. They have 12 points. Bottom table, Crystal Palace, bottom 3 maybe. Crystal Palace, they are in 18th place with just 3 points minus 5 goals. Southampton in a 19 points minus 11 goals. Wow. And Wolverhampton Wanderers in 28th place. 1 point minus 12 goals. Yeah, that's a lot of depth right there if you want to see it that way. But that's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We have just 3 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. We have a total of 42 people following the show, but only 6 of those on YouTube, the rest on X. And for those of you who are following the show on X, just know that we appreciate you. That's because you following the show alone does go a long way. We're going to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second, drop a like on the video for us on X, share the video on X, follow our X account to help us to reach 5,000 followers as soon as possible. We're getting there. I think we're currently at 4,500 plus, but you can help us get that. Just give me 1 second here. Let me do something that educates people on how to find the like button. One sec. Um, okay, I think I remember the command now. There you go, found it. Let me do the help command and pin something that will help people find the like button if you don't mind. There you go. If it comes back, I'll do that. All right, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. Sorry for boring you with my sole opinion, but we're going by something that's not my opinion anyway. They're there, except if I speak in detail about that particular metric, maybe you get my opinion. But we're going by what statistics are showing us. Why is that not working? I'm not sure why I haven't seen that. Give me one second here. Right, there we go. Let's get to looking at the numbers. Who's stopping what area? Yeah, I know you already know who's going to be topping a lot of the metrics. Okay, there you go. What I'm looking for here. All right, let's go. Top scorers, we have Cole Palmer with 6 goals in total, Nicholas Jackson with 4, Nani Madueke with 4. I think Nkunku also comes in there with 4, but we're going to stick with 3, top 3 of each metric. Assist Cole Palmer has 5, Jadon Sanchez has a 3, Nicholas Jackson has a 3. Okay, and if you're listening, please do let me know if you can hear me. For goal plus assist, that one is unnecessary, but let's just go through it because it is the goal. Uh, Total of goals and total of assists for Cole Palmer. He has 11, as you can see here, 5 goals, 5 assists. Nicholas Jackson has 7, 4 goals, 3 assists, and Noni Madueke has 4 in total. Noni Madueke has how many? Okay, I can't find his I see. Does he have any assist? I don't remember. But let's that what you see here in this particular card, not a table really, is the total of goals the person has scored and the total of assists they've made together. Yeah, the construct of this particular column maybe. Rating, I don't think we need that, but let's just go through it. Top 3, 8.30 for Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke 7.71, Jadon Sancho has 7.69. He got there quickly, really. Okay, that's by the way. Goals per 90 minutes Cole Palmer is on 0.91, Jean Felix 0.76. And non-Matic is 0.75. Okay, not so much disparity between his and that of non-Matic. And then expected goals XG, Nicholas Jackson 5.2. I'm guessing that's about 90 minutes. Cole Palmer 4.4, non-Matic 1.9. Okay, not bad. XG per okay, that one specifically didn't say per 90 minutes. Okay. Just the totality of expected, maybe so far this season, because he didn't say specifically where that was, but I'm guessing probably the entirety of the so far this season. XG per 90 minutes, so that's more specific there. So definitely the other one wasn't that. Christopher Nkunku 1.10, Nicholas Jackson 0.88 per 90 minutes, Cole Palmer 0.66 per 90 minutes. Okay. Anything else? So it says shots on target per 90 minutes. That's important. Um, Christopher Nkunku has 2.1, Nicholas Jackson 1.9, Cole Palmer 1.7. I'd say this is a bit important. It's also important. Goals, expected goals on target. So I think it's important. Nicholas Jackson 4.5, Cole Palmer 4.2, Christopher Nkunku 2.8. Interesting. Shots per 90 minutes. Joao Felix at 5.3, but it's important to consider the volume of games. Nani Madueke at 4.1, Cole Palmer 3.6. It doesn't shoot a lot, but I bet you bet your bottom dollar he's overperforming his XG. Accurate passes per 90-minute, Tosin Adarabioyo 71.8. Levi Colwell 68.5%, and Renato Viega 59.1%. I'm not shocked. Tosin is an excellent passer of the ball, but yeah, but where he plays on papers, you said a lot of the passes are safer option passes. But looking beyond that, if you know him very well, he can orchestrate defenses, splitting passes, even from a deep in the defensive line. So I'm not going to judge him too much on that, but volume is important. Also, big chances created. We have Cole Palmer 8 in total, Nicholas Jackson 3, and Jadon Sancho 2. Okay. Chances created in total. Cole Palmer 23. So he's the king. Jadon Sancho 8. Enzo Fernandez 8 in total. Accurate long balls per 90-minute. Levi Colwell. I was thinking. I was thinking that Cole Palmer. I was just Enzo Fernandez is going to topple him in that department. But yeah, Levi Colwell is the king in that one. And that department at 3.4. Enzo Fernandez at 3.3. Accurate long balls, to be more specific, accurate long balls per 90 minutes. Malo Gusto 2.9 and expected assists. Cole Palmer still topping there 1.7. Jadon Sanchez 0.9 and Moises Caicedo 0.8. Okay, expected assist per 90 minutes. The other one isn't per 90 minutes. I think that one is in total, but this one is per 90 minutes. More specific, 0.30. Cole Palmer 0.25. Jadon Sancho, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, Pedro Neto 0.18. Okay, let's just skip to successful dribbles. More simplified metric, in my opinion. Jadon Sancho, successful dribbles per 90 minutes, 4.1. If you remember, I talked about how he doesn't dribble unnecessarily. And I said something, I've argued that if he senses that if he starts the dribble process that he cannot complete it, he usually opt to pass the ball to his better position teammate and not risk losing the ball, if that makes sense. So successful dribbles per 90 minutes, Jadon Sancho 4.1, Pedro Neto 2.6, João Felix 2.3. And no surprises there. Jadon Sancho is an excellent dribbler, and as I've said already, he doesn't risk attempt unnecessary. I can't say that. Dribbles. Big chances means that Nicholas Jackson. I'll be shocked if someone else topples him in that department. Cole Palmer 4, Nani Madueke missed 3 penalties awarded 1, not too much number there. Successful tackles per 90 minutes. Renato Viega toppling that at 3.5, but volume is important. Moises Caicedo 2.3, Christopher Nkunku 2.1. Interceptions per 90 minutes, no surprises there. Moises Caicedo 1.5, Levi Colwell 1.4, Wesley Fofana 1.4. That's good. Clearances per 90 minutes, Tosin Adarabioyo 4.5. That's fine. You usually get that from people that read the game very well. Wesley Fofana 4.1, Levi Colwell 3.7. Blocks per 90 minutes, Tosin Adarabioyo 1.5, Levi Colwell. Wow, the three of them. 1.1 and Wesley Fofana 0.8. Penalties considered, just one there. Possession, 1 in the final third. I expected Cole Palmer to be there, but I thought he'd be above Christopher Nkunku. But Christopher Nkunku has 2.1 possession. He's won the possession 2.1 times in average. Yeah, he averages 2.1 times per game per 90 minutes. Moises Caicedo 1.2. I'm shocked that Christopher Nkunku topples him in that department. Cole Palmer 1.1. Anything that's important here? Clean sheets, Robin Sanchez 2 in total. Goals prevented 1.0, not by 90 minutes. I'm looking. Okay, goals conceded per 90 minutes 1.1. Maybe you can argue due to defensive issues, really. Fouls committed per 90 minutes, Wesley Fofana 2.0, followed by Moises Caicedo and Renato Viega. I'm not surprised. Yellow cards, 5 for Michael Correa, 5 for Wesley Fofana, which is why both will miss the next game. Cole Palmer 3, 2 to go. I hope he doesn't get there. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. We don't have too many people in the chat. That's fine. It's usually something I've grown accustomed to that. While during international breaks, and if the transfer window isn't open yet, except if you're a big account, and we're not a big account yet. Big up to you, AB. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have just 4 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that, and that's because we're 25 minutes into the show already. What do we have here? This is just to educate you on how you can find the dislike button or comment button. I'll read that in a bit. Just give me 1 second here. I'm trying to find the fancy display images that I've been using. I rebooted the system, so that's why I'm not able to find them easily like that. Did I click that twice? Just give me 1 second, people. Apologies for that. So while you're there, AB, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments in the chat, and I'll try to address it. So what am I looking at here? Why is this behaving like this? I'm just gonna go with this one at the moment, and then fix things later. Jeez, what's going on here? Apologies, I'm struggling. The system seemed to be frozen. So what do we have here? This says, yep, a press your screen for about a second to see the like and comment options to swipe up to go full screen. And if you go full screen, believe me, you'll like it so much. You'd never like to participate in a live stream that isn't in a vertical format. But that's, by the way, in total, we have 50 people following the show, but only 3 on YouTube. The rest, 47 in total, on X. And if you're following the show on X, we appreciate you. Please take a second, drop a like on the stream, share the video on the stream on X, and also follow our X account to help us get to 5,000 followers. We're getting there gradually. What else do we have here? We've looked at the table, we've looked at this, and I think it's about time we go. News hunting. Well, Vix's X timeline, I think we see a lot of interesting stuff. And this non-American pass fit for oh my gosh, pass fit for England assignment after injury scares versus Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Hopefully he comes back intact. I think we need him, irrespective of whether you think he's too selfish or not selfish, or just being as direct as he's always been. But he's a good player. My argument with that has always been that if he can learn to be a little less selfish, he'd be a much better player. I think we'll be seeing a lot of pictures because not so much is going on at this at the moment with regards to news and yeah. Nkunku in the French national team training, it looks like it's snowing there. The way he's dressed, yeah, it's really cold there. Let's see what else we have here. This is Vince's opinion, I'm guessing. It says, which reads, Enzo Fernandez rarely has a good game after international breaks coming back from South America. Same goes to Moises Caicedo. Yep. Same goes to Moises Caicedo. And okay, if Enzo Fernandez if he will not play a game against Liverpool, who plays, I think probably he will have no option than to start him. But for left back, already Marco Correa is suspended. We see Renato Vega, and not a bad replacement, but he traveled too. The only, you can say, big name, maybe a good player that we have in the midfield area that most definitely I'm quite sure didn't travel will be Romeo Lavia. Maybe that will make enough difference that would be enough for us to still play as a unit on the day. Who else that will not be traveling? I don't know. But a lot of our best players will travel. Sancho not traveling, quite sure. Who else? Mudrik definitely would travel. So let's see how the manager again remember under his leadership for the first time in a while we were able to win a game after the international break, and that was the game against Bournemouth. So I'm happy, but let's see. Casado recovers faster. I hope we give KDH a start against Liverpool. I think he starts. He's not going anywhere. It wouldn't make sense to start a player that traveled to South America. Let him continue with that Conference League momentum. He's got legs for that. I am afraid Enzo wouldn't have, but probably will still start. I'd be shocked if he doesn't start. And this is our October to November. Yep, October to November schedule. I'm gonna click it so that it pops up properly. And how many points do you expect from our next 5 Premier League games? Interesting question. I'll look at it. I'll just let me just play around. But usually I like to look at insights, which tells you shows you teams the home forms the home form of the teams, away form of the teams, uh, uh, goals tally, and all those things, goal concession, and all those things to help you to come to a sensible conclusion with regards to the possible outcome of the game in particular against Liverpool. What I'd say, I've seen again. You could argue that Enzo Maresca is more pragmatic than Arne Slot. Uh, what we don't know what Arne Slot is going to do on that day. They have a very potent attacking line. We'll get chances against Liverpool. The question is, are we going to be clinical enough to take our chances of that on that day, or it's going to be a case of us going, "Ooh, oh, that was closing out that nonsense," and end up conceding a goal or two. But our away from since the start of the season has been excellent. So that's a plus. Plus, we're playing. It's going to be an open game, which is, you could argue, the sort of game that we thrive when we play. Those sort of games we do very, very well. So for Liverpool, I think we can get at least a point from that game. Let me just leave it at that. If we end up beating them on the day, I'll take it. I be big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I do hope you're doing well. So yeah, that the Liverpool game, at least a draw, at least 1 point from that. Let me stick with 1 point. Then if we get to that day and we beat them, then I'll take it. But if you're in the chat, let's hear your opinion. How many points do you think we get from this game? But against Newcastle United, I'd say we're beating them. We're going to beat Newcastle scoreline. I don't know. I think we're going to beat them. So 4 points. That's my opinion. I want you to do your own calculation and let me know how many points you believe we can get from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Manchester United, I think, would beat. I think we're going to beat them. So 7 points in total. Arsenal, I think, ends in a draw, 8 points. Leicester City, we're going to beat that. I think we're going to get 11 points from this from the 5 games. Yep, 2 draws. Draw. I'm saying a draw against Liverpool, but we could still beat them. I'm just being cautious here. But Arsenal, I think, ends in a draw. But whatever happens on that, it's going to be a lot of goals. So yeah, 11 points for me. But let's get your opinion on how many points you think we'll be able to get in these 5 games. Yep, will be played month. Um, Yep. How many in October? We still have how many games in October? One, two more games in 2 more games in October, then 3 in November. So, how many of those games do you think we can win? Tally up all your points suggestion and let us know. Wycliffe Barish, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Wycliffe Barish here is saying. It will be so awesome if we keep a 100% away record against, let me read that properly, against Liverpool, but a draw will also be very good. I'm just trying to be cautious there. We could still beat them on that day, but I'll stick with a draw. And if we get to that day, we beat them, then I'll take it. Big up to you too, Tommy Bryan. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. I hope your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, I'm happy for you. I understand we need to work to pay bills. Bills don't pay themselves. I need us to beat Liverpool. That fan base needs humbling. I mean, it's possible. We have a good enough squad to play against them, but I just don't like that the game is coming after the international break. But no excuses there because they have a lot of international too who be away on international assignments for their respective countries. So the same issue we have, they have the same issue. Yeah. Let's see the issue of being a big club. It doesn't. And Tommy Bryan is saying, "Have I read that one already?" Coach, I hope we'll finally beat. Let me see that. It says, Coach, I hope we'll finally beat Liverpool. I've got a score to settle with some Liverpool fans, including my brother. Wow. That is serious. Please. Okay, let's see. I only need a win versus Liverpool just so that I hear what Jamie Carragher has to say. I think it will be really, really nice to beat them, but I'm sticking with a draw. If we get to that day and we beat them, nice or nice maybe if you prefer. We have 64 people following the show, Only 14 of those on YouTube. The rest on X, wherever you're following the show from, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's not easy. If you're following the show on X, which is 50 plus people, kindly do us a favor, take a second, drop a like on the stream, on the video maybe, share the video on X, and follow our X account. That way, whenever we go live, you'd be notified. You're not going to miss anything. And also, following our X account help us reach to 5,000, get to 5,000 followers. And if you're following the show on YouTube, please kindly take a second, drop a like on the stream for us, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I'll try to address it. If I can, I'll pretend I don't see it. I'm kidding anyway. I will try the best I can to answer your question, and if I can't, I'll let you know. I hope my comments don't you hope your comments on board the H place. You're from the H place. You're the I think you're the H place PR person, right? So why are you concerned? So we have Wickler Barros here saying that we might lose one game between Liverpool and Arsenal. So I don't see us losing to Arsenal. I don't know why I'm confident we're not going to lose to them. I think the worst case will be a draw. Just remember I told you that. I don't see us losing to Arsenal. I'm seeing the sort of mentality that tells me once it's a derby, such as our game against Arsenal, the players they will show the character. They would want to win it. I think they're maturing quicker than I expected, in my opinion. I have to be honest here. They're showing maturity. They're showing character. On two occasions, we've gone behind and we were able to actually equalize the goal. Well, a goal deficit. I don't remember us going two behind. We were able to get the one goal deficit equalized and then actually pushed to win. We were unlucky not to have won our game against the last opponent. What's her name again? Not to have won that game against Nottingham Forest. So they've showed character, and that's reflective of the fact that they're maturing, in my opinion. Did I read that? Wycliffe? Wycliffe is saying, okay, we might lose one game between Liverpool and Arsenal. So I go with at least 10 points from the 5 games, even if we win one of the Arsenal or Liverpool games. So you're saying we're still going to lose one of those 2 games. Okay, let's see what happens. We stand a good chance against Liverpool if we don't play a lethargic Enzo. That boy was walking during transition second half versus Forest. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm still going to let you know that you see how important Gallagher was to Mauricio Pochettino. That's how important Enzo Fernandez is to Enzo Maresca. Irrespective of what you think about his pace and you can say lack of physicality, which I don't agree with that aspect. But despite it, we keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And if you're interested in coming onto the panel to give us your 2 cents, I'd do that. If you're on camera, it'd be easier. If you're not on camera, I'll be paying attention. If you're gonna get the channel into trouble, I'll just mute you and put the video on private. But here's the thing. YouTube has a way of tracing who did that via your IP address and your account name. They have your pictures these days. You don't create an account without giving some you can say ID defining information, if that makes sense. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let's hear you. Tommy, you haven't said how many points you think would be able to garner from these 5 games. You watch which of the games you think would win and which of them you think would lose. But let's hear you if you're still there. Invite. So I'm going to share the link if you want to come onto the panel for a minute or two. But if you make too much sense, we can let you go on for 3 minutes at least. Come onto the panel. Let's hear you. Link to the panel. Let's hear your opinion after week 7. What do you make of our Chelsea under Enzo Maresca? Have we made progress? Are we progressing? Are we regressing? What do you think should change? What should you think? Do you think we should continue the way we're going? And we're right. All right, there you go. I've shared the link. I think I have to kill the other link and pin this one. Yeah, replaced pin the message. So the link to the panel is pinned at the very top. If you want to join, feel free. Let's get your 2 cents for a minute or two. So it's a calling show. Hopefully you guys will be interested. But I think a lot of people we have here usually are not interested on coming on in coming onto the panel. We get maximum points from these 5 games. We might as well challenge for the title if we sorry, I missed the word if we beat them all. Wow. And I think we can. We have more firepower than Liverpool. Defensively, maybe they're better than us. Midfield area, you can say, it's 50-50. And Enzo Maresca, what I like about him, I think we knew that was the case. During my research, I learned from a Leicester City player that he doesn't approach games the same way. For every opponent, that's a distinct approach for that particular for that particular opponent. And he did say something to the effect of even during international break, he keeps working, trying to innovate. I think the word innovate was using that, trying to innovate to find a way to make life difficult for our next opponent. That he doesn't rest. He's always his food. I mean, he's obsessed, and it takes and the truth remains in everything you do in life. It takes obsession to be really, really good at that thing, in my opinion. So I agree. So let's see. Chances are I mean, it's possible we have enough firepower to do that. We do against the two. You can say the most difficult games there for me. I don't think we should take Newcastle United for granted. They're going to be very difficult to beat. But Liverpool definitely difficult. Manchester United, for some reason, the only thing I fear is if they change their manager before that game, uh, probably with new manager bounce, would be in serious trouble. But even if he stays, let's be honest, I think Ten Hag has a good record against us, doesn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong. Eric Ten Hag does have a very, very good record against Chelsea Football Club. So I'm not gonna. You can say I have. It doesn't make sense to say, yeah, whether I'd like the manager to be fired before then or whether I'd like the manager to stay, because it just doesn't make sense. He has a good record against us, actually, to be honest. But we have a new manager, maybe that makes a difference, who approaches games differently, different approach for a different opposition, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is the link to the panel. If you want to come join us, give us your 2 cents for a minute or two. And if you speak deliciously, you'd have more time. But let's keep going anyway. We'll go back to news hunting while I wait to see if anybody is interested in coming onto the panel to give us their 2 cents, if that makes sense. Anything else? So I'm going to close out this one. Let's see. I said we're going to get 11 points. Yep, I think that was what I said. Is it 3 wins, 2 draws? That was my calculation. Yeah. Anything else? Do I need to click back? Breaking his personal negative record for Manchester United's staggering level of yeah, that's crazy, really. Houston, I'm gonna say this: even if they lose 29 games in a row, I don't think we've done well against Manchester United of late. Especially at Old Trafford. We were good against them on I think it was on the Thomas Tuchel or who, I can't quite remember. But correct me if I'm wrong. Eric Ten Hag does have a good record against Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, he does. So this doesn't really matter to me. But let's look at what he said. What Vince is trying to say here. Okay. Okay, whatsoever Premier League start. Uh, okay, that's the start. There's something is covered for Manchester United after seven games. United has eight points right now, so worse than last season where they had 9 points after 7 games. Wow. Solskjaer 9 points. Solskjaer beat his own record, also his own bad record. Mourinho had 9 points in 2018, 2019. That is serious. But Houston, I'm not gonna look at this and say, yeah, we're definitely beating them. We're definitely gonna beat them. I think it's dangerous. I wouldn't want the players to go into that game with the mindset that they're in a bad run of form. That which it will be a walk in the park. It will never be. That's when I get concerned. Let's see what else we have here. I was gonna. Oh my goodness! I was gonna let loose the balloons and fireworks for the birthday of my brother Bluetooth again, but I think he understands. I'll still do it anytime, and if he's in the chat when we're streaming in the landscape format. Let's see what else we have here. Ten Hag has a great record against us, so I was correct. Yeah, so many times we should have beaten them. Yet they play well and put up a fight against us, and that's after again even if they've been playing so badly, once it gets to again, once we're playing their next game is against us, the rest assured they're most definitely gonna win. Yeah, so he does have a good record against us. So thank you for confirming that. Yeah, they seem to be, you can say, take it up a notch whenever they play against us. I trust Maresca to come up with a plan to confuse Liverpool and Arsenal. He's capable of doing that, and we've talked about that in detail how he prepares for every game differently. The basics is yeah, the basic is whenever we can keep the ball. But there's a lot more to his preferred approach to football than a lot of people know. People were saying when we were on the verge of hiring him, people were saying nonsense about how he's going to be figured out in the Premier League, yada yada yada. Those that only see football on a surface level and don't really understand, there's a lot more to what they're seeing in terms of application or maybe overall approach of the team. Ten Hag, my Dutch legend, 10 more years. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen, but I get it. As we banter them, we ask them to give them time. That these things do take time. Yeah, it takes time to build the team, and they made a lot of changes. And something that I know Bobby will most definitely love to talk about is the fact that they spent a lot of money for how many seasons right now. I think it started. Did it start under Van Gaal, Mourinho, David Moyes? They've spent quite a lot. I think the difference is that we spent something close to what they've spent, but we spent as quickly. It was on the two windows, but this has been going on for a while now. But still, they've not won anything serious for a few years right now. Let's see what Tommy Bryan has to say here. We need to break our Old Trafford record. If Tottenham Botterspurs can win there, so can we. And that's where the problem lies. You just cannot script football. You just cannot script football. It's not that simple, really. And I know I know you know that. In football, 1+1. You'd be wrong if you expect the answer to always be two. I don't know if you get. I know you get my point right there. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah. And Chama is in the house, the queen of the house. Chama, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. It's been a minute. I hope you're well. Your daughter also, I hope she's doing well. I appreciate you. Hopefully your absence just simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, I'm happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. We might not get any points in the next two games. If we get at least 1 point from the next two, I will consider that a huge success. Can you elaborate? Why are you certain that we might not be able um, to get any point in the next two games? Why? And the next two games we'll be playing are. Just give me 1 second here. Newcastle United away and no Liverpool away and Newcastle United at home. I'm not sure why you sound as you have strong belief. You sound as if you have strong belief that we're not going to be able to get any points from those two games. I'd say we'll get 4 points. I will the worst that happened to us in our game against Liverpool will be a draw. I strongly believe we're not going to lose that game. Then Newcastle United at home, I think we're going to beat them. Honestly, we will beat them, but I just don't like the fact that we're playing Liverpool immediately after the international break. But maybe things have changed for us. When last again under Enzo Maresca, we were able to win a game after an international break, and that hasn't happened in a while. That had before that particular game that hadn't happened in a while. If that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. You're right, coach. In football, even mathematics doesn't. Yeah, mathematics doesn't. Math doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it does. That's not straightforward. You can't script the game. Even when you look at numbers or statistics, if that's language you prefer, when you look at numbers, look at something like goals, average goals per game, goal concession per game, and all that. The only thing you'd be able to do would be to come to a sensible outcome with regards to what the possible outcome of that sensible conclusion with regards to what the possible outcome of that game in particular would be. You're not certain because it's fluid. It's very fluid. Things can change. It's not fact finding. You say that where you're working in hindsight, you have the numbers to look at, maybe analyze and say, yeah, you can tell such happened. This thing that what happened because of a certain reason. But in this case, we're talking about predicting what's going to happen in the future. So it cannot be accurate. You have a very good idea, or you come to a very sensible conclusion with regards to the possible outcome, but you cannot be too sure because it's fluid. It can change. Sorry, I meant the two matches, Liverpool and Arsenal. So not the next two games. Okay, no worries. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. We have just 9 likes. We can do a lot better than that. And to see the like button, to see maybe the options to like, comment, or dislike the video, just press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see those options. Let's see what else we have here. We will beat Newcastle. I'm not going to say for sure. I think it's a belief that we'll beat them. Where are they? Let's see where they are in the table, actually. 7th, 12 points. Well, okay, they have just 1 goal difference. Okay. They drew their last 2 games, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that left? Does it go from left to right? Let me look at that. We drew our last game. Yep, they drew their last 2 games. Is that correct? Wow, interesting. All right, let's go here. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And Wycliffe Barish is saying here, he did say here, we need that winning streak we had at the end of last season. But Houston, we're doing well right now. Again, the game against Nottingham Forest, it could have gone either way, but at the same time, not you can say a lot of positives to take from that game. We could have won. It wasn't just our day. We played against a team that before that game still has one of the best defensive records, if not the best, and we were able to create a clear cut chances, but wasn't a clinical on the day. Looks like my camera went blank. What happened there? Okay. Let me switch it to the front camera. Sorry, I had the back camera and I didn't know it went off. Apologies for that. Did it shut off really? Give me 1 second here. Let me take care of this quickly. All right, let's go, people. Let's go. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with 10 likes and 306 views. Not bad. We should be doing a lot better than that. So this here, Enzo Maresca will be pleased. Vince is okay. The Premier League. Okay. Quoting, you could say, Enzo Maresca will be pleased with the overall performance. Forest's defense has been exceptional this season, but Chelsea hit an XG of 2.46. So that tells you we didn't win that game because we didn't create chances. We didn't win that game. But forget XG can be a bit confusing, but if you watch the game yourself, I'm quite sure you did see that we created a good enough chances. Cole Palmer with an excellent, I think, nutmeg, hit the first one. The goalkeeper, you can say, parried it again to his front, and and the rebound he couldn't get it to go into inside the net. There was one that I thought had crossed the line. It turns out it didn't. And no argument there because machines are used to check when the ball crosses the line. We created a lot of, you can say, good enough chances to beat them, even, let's say, by 3 goals to 4 goals to three. Let's be honest, they had equally good chances too, especially towards the end of the game. And had it not been for the brilliance of Robert Sanchez, yeah, maybe we'd be talking about a different outcome right now. So it was a good game for the neutrals. Not for us because we created good chances. Some of them we thought, yeah, there you go, Kopama, definitely a goal, and boom, the goalkeeper saved it. Point blank header from two of our best finishers. You could argue in Christopher Nkunku and also Joao Felix. So it just wasn't our day. So I agree. But I'll read through what Vince has on the screen there. Just so that after the break, guys come back healthy. Yep, that's important. Come back healthy and ready for Liverpool, including Rhys James. I hate that European League thing. What's it called again? Uh, Nations League thing. I think it's absolute boohoo. I think that's what the European players are traveling for, right? I think it just puts so much stress on the players that it's not helpful. Big up to you too, Jay. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. This particular morning. It's till 4:17 a.m. for me. And we have the link pinned at the very top. If you want to come onto the panel, except if you've been a regular panelist here, you can come on and stay. But if you want to come onto the panel and give us your 2 cents, feel free to do so. The link to the panel is pinned at the very top. This is supposed to be a call-in show, but I remember I remember I did say something. Yeah, I did talk about how most of our, you can say, followers here are not those that like to come onto the panel. But that's, by the way, Jay, thank you. What do we have here? Let me read this from Tommy Bryan says, Coachila, are we still sponsored by an energy drink company? He's saying, is this the one I'm reading here? I think these goalkeepers are drinking it, performing real well. Maybe Robert Sanchez is bipolar. I think you're referencing how today he's one of the best in the whole world, and then the next game he'd been making a lot of silly mistakes, right? Allah Akbar, yes, God is great forever. Thank you for saying that. I understand what that means, so I have no concern saying it. Yep. Jay, thank you so much for finding the time to be with me on the panel. I appreciate you. Just give me 1 second. I'll come to you. And Constantine Dan, the captain of the house. Hopefully, nobody else starts rebelling against the channel because I called you captain. If that happens again, I will most definitely stop calling you captain. Um, uh, but nice to see you. Let me see what's that coming here. So I'm not sure. I can't read your next comment because I'm not sure what you're asking there. Jay, anything you've heard us talk about that you want to chip in there? But this one here talks about, this is interesting if you want to chip in. But I'd rather you start by telling us which of these games, how many points do you think we're gonna get from these 5 games? Away against Liverpool, at home against Newcastle United, away against Manchester United, at home against Arsenal, and at home against Leicester City. But big up to you. More importantly, I do hope you're doing well. How many points do you think we'd get from these games?
Yeah, bigger coach.
Gibran?
So, talking about these fixtures, it's obviously, looking at them fixtures, it looks hard. When you straight away go after the international break and play Liverpool at Anfield, it's one of the toughest fixture for me, and even a draw will be. Of course, it depends on the performance as well, but a hard fought draw or 1 point from Anfield is a big thing as well for many teams. Of course, I will love to have all 3 points, but yeah, I'll take a draw from the first match against Liverpool. To be all practical and seeing where they are and seeing our progress as well. I think a point away from Anfield would be a fair result for me. Uh,
Yeah. Do you think before you continue? Do you think the fact that we're playing them um, immediately after the international break? I get it. We won our first game after an international break for a while now with the game against Bournemouth. Um, is it a factor that you're concerned about that will lead to us not doing well against Liverpool?
like how? Like we're playing them
You
immediately
say,
after the international break?
I know they're facing the same issue, right? They have a lot of
Yeah.
international.
Hmm.
Again, you can say nearly all their starting players will be on international duty. I haven't taken my time to look at it, but you can say
Hmm.
at least more than 60, 70%. I know they have the same issue, but for us, it just seemed as if that issue, you can say a halt in, you can say the issue of the international, you can say the problem that the international break causes for clubs. It just looks like it's for a while. It seemed as if it is our case is more difficult than every other team.
Maybe one or two players we can, depending on the region and the country that they play, the distance
Mm,
that they have to, take to come back to England and be prepared for the match immediately. I think those are the little factors that you have to take into account for judging whether it's hurting us more or them. And most certainly the likes of, Caicedo and Enzo, who has to travel to the other part. And from there, they have to come and there are some factors, that your mentality and your physical health
mhm.
takes from that travel. You need a little bit of rest as well. So, and both of them are key part of our midfield as well. Most probably would have started if there wasn't such issue. So yeah, I think from that angle, maybe yeah, but I'm sure they are also having a fair amount of similar issues as well. And I don't really take a big fuss about or the international break for players being problematic. I think on a separate topic we can discuss whether it is really required or not. Looking at the quality and the importance of the matches that they play for their national duty, we can always debate whether it is necessary or whether it should be reduced. You remember the Rodri debate? In the last few weeks, he was urging and making this protest that the players are doing really heavy work and they need break as well, and hence
Yeah,
international.
too many games to play. He was complaining.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a big chance of injury, and how unfortunate. It's only Rodri that have been for the whole season now. So it's actually tough. It's really tough. But I'll say I think Liverpool also have plenty of players going to different parts of the area, and it will affect them equally.
Yeah, I think it does affect them equally. It's just that we're saying if you start looking at things from Chelsea's perspective only, because you're not paying attention to how it affects all the teams, and I think that's especially the case when you face the mid-table, bottom-table team that usually doesn't have too many internationals. It just seems as if it's only our club. But I get your point. Here's something else I wanted to talk about, Jay. I've seen people they usually start their post with same old story that the games we drew, the two games we one was against Crystal Palace, right? 1-1 draw, and the game against Nottingham Forest, 1-1 draw also. They're saying that we're still struggling against teams that defend well. Let me just use that language, or defend deep, low blocks. That's the language they like to use. But if you look at the numbers, of the statistics after our game against Nottingham Forest, we finished with an XG of 2.46. And if you watch the game, you see that we created good enough chances to win that game. It just wasn't our day. And that's how I prefer to that's how I see it, or how I prefer to say it. I wasn't pained after the game. I was just again because I remember there was one I thought had crossed the line. Cole Palmer had good enough chances, and a few other players that I can't quite remember right now. Do you agree that we're still struggling against teams that defend deep? I don't think so, in my opinion.
Um, um, I think there has been a difference. We have looked in general we have struggled. You can look at the points and the results, and you can say that we have this tendency to struggle against teams that sit back and have a low block, and it's always going to be tough to beat them. Also,
Mhm.
considering the players that we historically had, that always tend to just stop and go near the final third and make a backward pass because they are there is a lack of ideas as well. But I think yes, you can like debate it on the basis of that we are earning the same point, considering the point of Crystal Palace as well, and now this Nottingham Forest side. Also, you can make a similar case for the Bournemouth game also, but I think uh, all three of the games require dissection on their own. I don't think there has been similar levels of consistent problems there. And I see a big difference in the, again, I have to compare it with Pochettino's time where we used to have struggles like this. I think there was a struggle. This was one of those matches where it was really frustrating result-wise, but yet I was really happy with the performance of the player. I didn't have, really had any, anger or irritation about any personal players. Whenever you get such results, you will always have that something in your mind to take against a player. But I was really pleased. I think we created really well. I think the flow was really well. The ball was moving pretty well in certain areas, and considering those chances that João Felix and even Nkunku, I think both of them were headers. The amount of quality that we needed on those
Mhm.
two opportunities, and they missed it. And it is not going to be always like you're going to have 15 or 10 big chances each game. No, there are certain games like this where you will only have limited options, and those limited options were the one that we fumbled. I have to say, João Felix and even Nkunku one was golden opportunity. Also, I have to give praise to their goalkeeper. He was fantastic. And I will say the same for Sanchez as well. So it was kind of that game rather than it was a situation where there is structural, basic problems in our coaching tactics that we were not able to beat it. I think it was a separate individual match where you have to take those chances and you're not going to get it anymore. And hence we missed out on it. But I wasn't really really angry with the overall outcome of the game.
No, I wasn't, honestly. I think we did well enough to win that game. It just wasn't our day. That's how I like to see it. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. But this, you can say I don't think it makes sense to start nitpicking or maybe start saying we didn't win that game because certain players missed certain chances. No, I think you can say it's uniform in the fan base. Not a lot of people weren't complaining. Usually, again, the cases are the opposite. We have Dante in the house. Dante, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Let me start you with where I started, Jay. I think, Jay, you're done discussing how many points you think we'd win. We get from this these 5 games, three in how many in October? One, two in October, and three in November. You're done talking about how many points you think we're gonna get from these games, right?
Um, I was going on match by match thing. I couldn't really focus on the other matches. So I said one from Liverpool, and we are
Mm-hmm.
playing Newcastle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and
Newcastle
that's
at
at home.
home.
So I expect us to beat Newcastle at home. Remember, when we are playing at St. Mary's Park at Newcastle's,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, St. James's Park. So it will be really difficult there, but it's a total different match when they're coming here. So I probably expect us to take all 3 points. And Manchester United now, there is a big thing, depending on the managerial changes and the thing that is going to happen on that side. There's always this new manager bounce thing, but I still expect us to take points from 3 points from Manchester United, although our record has not been great at Old Trafford at all. So, but I still expect because teams like Tottenham and even Liverpool have been it was a playing field for them. So I expect us to take 3 points from them also. So one from Liverpool, three from Newcastle, and 3 at United as well. So 7 points from these three sides. And is there another one?
You stopped at Manchester United. It's Arsenal at home, 10th
Yeah,
November.
this is going to be difficult. This is really going to be difficult. Even if I see us dominating them for parts of the game and even leading, I still expect there is always this Arsenal factor whenever a team is coming uh, against them, they always tend to make a late equalizers or winner as well. And they are also in good form. Their defense is looking really, really solid. And considering we are really poor in defending set pieces, both
Mhm.
for taking corners as well and also at defending. And Arsenal are specialists in set pieces. So maybe a point will do for me. So there can be a defeat as well. I'm being optimistic here. So I see us taking 8 points. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but yeah, that's how I see.
Not bad. How about the Leicester City game?
Is it away
That's
or home?
away.
Away. I still expect us to win that. I think it won't be easy, but I think we will take it. It will be like something like the Bournemouth game, where we'll have some problems, but I think we'll end up having a 2-1 or 3-1 victory there at the end. So 3 points there as well. I know
Yeah,
Dante might
and
laugh
in all
because I've
honesty, we've been excellent away.
Yeah, I mean, you probably will kind of be laughing because I expected no loss at all. But yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dante. Big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Uh, uh, I don't know why I don't want to call you captain so people don't go plan rioting on the street. So, but that's by the way, Dante. Thank you all for finding the time to be with us. Let's hear your thoughts. Are these 5 games here? How many points do you think we'll be able to get from them?
Yeah, big up, coach. Big
Big
up,
up, big
Jay.
up,
Big
big
up
up.
everyone in the chat. Coach, you can call me captain. It's your channel. You can do what you want. And there was only really one person that complained about that, not
No, but
everyone.
I was kidding, right? But you have to speak
I
about
know,
it
I
in
know,
detail.
I know,
But go ahead,
I
bro.
know. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, just got home. Got home. Had my niece's 21st birthday tonight, so it was just a family little thing.
Ooh, where is the balloon? Even the Beautiful Game celebrated his birthday yesterday. He was here, and I
Oh
can't
wow!
share the balloon today. With what we're using, it's not going to work. We're streaming. The vertical format didn't allow us to pop the balloon and the
Yeah,
fireworks,
yeah.
but we
Don't
all
worry about that.
tomorrow we're screaming landscape format, and then we pay our debt for birthday, belated birthday celebrations. But go
No, she's
ahead.
all right. She doesn't watch. She doesn't. She's not bothered. 21 year
Well,
olds
happy
these days.
birthday to her, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, just got home a bit late. So yeah, what is the question, Coach? What are we looking at?
The 5 games.
The 5 games.
Three. Yeah. How many? 2 in October. 3 in November. How many points do you think we'll be able to get from these
Yeah,
games?
look, it's just I think it's important not to lose, just not to lose. That's probably number one. I'm okay with draws. I do expect the Leicester. Yeah, that should be a much more simpler game. Just the way they play as well. I think that should be pretty simple. They're not in very good form. That should be pretty good. Newcastle at home as well. We do pretty well against Newcastle at home. Away, we don't do very well against them there, but at home, just like Jay said, yeah, we do very well against them at home usually. And they do like to play a little bit open, a little bit this. So that's our type of game that suit our players. That one suits our players perfectly. The Liverpool game, yeah, it'll be tough, especially no Cucurella there. That's a big one. Cucurella's a big miss to
But
Mark Mo.
Viega comes in. I think I'd say Viega is defensively more defensively sound than Cucurella.
Not Mark Mo
Maybe
Salah.
he's not as good in terms of the application of the inverted fullback role, but defensively, aerially, he's better, and tackling is better in my opinion. But go
Of
ahead,
course,
what
he's
you're
better
saying.
aerially because he's a big guy, but not marking Mo Salah. That's a very difficult task. Very quick. He's very, and I've seen Cucurella shut him down a couple of times already. He scored a goal last time when he played us, but the rest of the games, and he still got shut down by Cucurella. He was all over him. You know how Cucurella defends, up at his heels, snaps at his ankles, right up against him, doesn't give him space. Vega doesn't do that. He doesn't defend that way, and if you give Mo Salah a little bit of space, it's all over. So that's a worry. That's a worrisome one because Cucurella did such a good job on Mo Salah every time. Yeah, I think it's a big loss in my personal opinion. Just the way he defends him and the way he defends, it's a perfect matchup.
Yeah, the sweeper approach. Go ahead. You need to see the screen, or the next game.
No, I pretty much I should be fine. Yeah, look, so we got Newcastle, then we got Man United. Man United, I'm expecting a win. That one should be a win, to be honest.
Remember, Ten Hag does have a good record against us.
He does, but yeah, a lot's changed. The way they play as well. Their players. I think we should win that one. I mean, if it's a draw, it's a draw. It is what it is. As long as we don't lose, like I say, it's important not to lose. If
But
it's a draw, unlucky, whatever. It's okay, but just not to lose. It's very important not to lose, I think, just to keep some momentum going.
And Khan says he thinks we're going to get 8 points. 8 points should be decent. Not okay. A decent haul from the games. Go ahead.
It is, yeah. 8 points is a decent haul. Yeah, that is definitely a decent haul. I would be happy with that. Like I said, draws and a couple of wins there. Yeah, I would be happy with that. No, 100%. I think it's a good haul. It's a tough run, so the only thing we have to, they are going to be a bit more open games, and our players love those type of games. We suit those type of games, so that's why I'm not too worried. It's just, as long as we don't lose, even some, a draw or two there is not bad. But I am expecting us to do pretty well in most of those games, just because of the way the opposition play as well. They're not going to sit back and, like Nottingham Forest, and just not
play the way it suits us, right?
They'll play their way suits us. Jackson will be involved in the game. The wingers will be very involved in the game. Palmer, everyone will be very involved in the game because the way the opposition plays as well. It's our style of football. So I'm pretty confident of that. Arsenal, that might be a little bit tough, but hey, it depends. That's a long way away. That's weeks, a month away. So over a month. So look, that's a long. Who knows what can happen by then?
And not immediately after an international game.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Look, Liverpool. Like I said, that's probably. I think the toughest fixture there is Liverpool away, because it is away at them, and because we are missing Cucurella for that matchup. I think that'll probably be the most difficult out of those, in my opinion. So I think if we can get past that one somehow and just not lose, that'll be a great result.
Is there a chance of Chilwell, or you're just going to play? Okay, Vega.
Maybe Jay has not been paying attention to what what's his name Maresca said. Maybe in the cup games.
But,
yeah, of course.
I think here's the thing. Except if we start experiencing the sort of injury issues we experienced under Mauricio Pochettino, he'd be forced to use him. He'd have no other option than to use him. After all, we're paying him.
He'd rather pull Colwell there, or even Malo Gusto at left back if he needed to over Chilwell.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, if he needed to, I'm just saying. But no, I don't see Chilwell involved at all. No, I don't see him involved at all. Not even on the bench. No.
But Dante, I think your concerns are really right about Vega. But I think I'm really excited to see it. This could be the match where we really see what Renato Vega is really made of. We have seen all those performances in the cup games, and he has been beyond expectation. He has been good. I think this would be a really tough fixture where it could actually work in his favor as well.
It wasn't against any Mo Salahs, so there's a big difference.
But Mo Salah is on a decline.
I think you don't rate him. Go ahead, Jay.
I mean, even Mo Salah is not the same guy. He's on a decline. It's not his best season at all. It's not like he has started in a very...
he's top 3 in the league. He's not on the decline. He's where he's supposed to be. He's had an amazing season. What do you mean?
That's a bold statement, Jay. Can we hear what Jay has to say about that?
Come on, at least give me opportunities to speak, man.
Go ahead, let's hear you. That's a bold statement.
That's a very bold statement.
I know, it's a bold statement. I know Salah is a Premier League, in a top tier list. He will be there in the history that you're going to read it. But I just suggest that it's not the same Salah. I'm not saying it's a stark difference, but it's certainly there's an argument that it could be it's maybe the last or the second last season for Mo Salah in the Premier League. I'm that much sure because my eye test, which I've seen Liverpool games, suggests that his pace and physicality, all those things are a little bit on a downward trajectory. Of course, the dribbling skills are still there. His intelligence to make the pass is still there. I'll not ignore that. And I'm not saying like Vega is going to pocket Mo Salah. It's going to be really hard, but I'm just making a case that there can be a chance where this could turn out to be a really good game for Vega, and he could make a strong case for even challenging Cucurella for the next game because it's not like he has been given the proper opportunity in the Premier League games till now.
All right. I understand your argument. I think something has changed, but you said it the way you said it, just as if he's become. Who do I?
I hope there's no Liverpool fan in the chat.
No, that's that. What this? Okay. The Dante. Leicester City away. I think that's the one you haven't spoken about.
No, I said that should be an easy win.
Oh, okay. I don't like it when I see that. But here's something else. One more thing here. I don't know. You've been busy for a while now. I don't know whether you've seen how people are saying that you say they usually precede the post with something to the effect of same old story that we're still struggling against low block. And against from I can't quite remember what went on in our game against Crystal Palace, but I may well I think it's important that I find it and open it so we'll look at the numbers. But the numbers against Nottingham Forest showed that we finished with 2.46 xg. I think they didn't even come to one. They didn't even get to one in themselves. So we created a lot of good chances. We did see the chances. The two goalkeepers on the day were brilliant. Their goalkeeper, our goalkeeper, point blank saves against Cole Palmer and then Christopher Nkunku and other saves too. But I want to hear your opinion. Do you agree that we're still struggling against low block? I'd say no, because the numbers say otherwise, in my opinion.
Not as much as we were last season. No, we're not. No, because we've been winning these. We've been winning some of these games. Yeah, we struggled a bit this game and a little bit against that Crystal Palace, but we did dominate. And only this Nottingham Forest game I was worried about, and I did share that with you guys, my thoughts on that, and pretty much that turned out.
Did your worries materialize?
Well, they did. Of course, they did.
But
remember, I told you.
I don't think you'd argue that we didn't play well enough to win.
No, we didn't play enough well, but we didn't play well. But Nottingham Forest played extremely well as well, and they could have won the game as well. So it could have gone either way that game, to be honest. They had chances, we had chances. We had a little bit more, obviously, more possession, more chances, but Nottingham Forest did what they did, what I knew they were going to do: be physical, score from a set piece, and take Jackson completely out of the game. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So there's a little argument there against low block teams. I still want to see when we do play a team like that. Like I said, I don't want to see Jackson playing in that game. I just don't think he's suited for those type of games. I would have played Nkunku up front. Even Noni Madueke, if we touched on that, his game, the way he played, look, he scored the goal, but before that, he didn't have the best game again. So I don't want to see Noni playing. He doesn't really suit those games. Sancho doesn't suit those type of games that much either. And you saw he struggled. He didn't do nothing much. He just couldn't do much. So yeah, I want to see the more technical players come and play those games. And when they did come on, and they did very well. They opened two, 3 chances straight away, clear chances, which we should have scored. But those chances were created straight away, and it opened up straight away for them. So because they do find space much better. So that's the only criticism I have. I think just the game plan and the opposition, just to put the right players out there. But I understand what Maresca did. He was backing his players, which is fine as well. I'm not.
But if you remember, we did talk about that at length during the pregame show, where we talked about how Jackson he'd be better off playing against teams where there'll be spaces for him to exploit. That's not to say he's a good dribbler, but he seems to again he struggles where the spaces are tight in terms of putting away chances. And I think yeah, it was evident that day that he struggled. And I did ask Bobby the question whether the manager, you can say the substitutes, were the players that should have started that game for us. But he was telling Bobby went on and argued how Jackson, you could say he stood punch for punch against the muscular defenders and all that. But no, I would have
I
preferred
remember.
Nkunku to start that game. But go ahead, just as we agreed
Oh,
before.
yeah, we did, and I
Keep
said it.
going.
You said it. You agreed. Bobby didn't obviously agree. I said he's gonna get. He's gonna get it. It's gonna be difficult for him because they're gonna physically they're bigger than him, stronger than him, and they're just gonna keep him busy doing that. And there's no spaces for him to operate. He won't be able to drop deep either to link up the play because there's no room for that. And that's exactly what happened. He had no impact in the game. They just kept bumping him and hitting him a bit, and he does that back because he likes it a little bit. And that's it. That's all. That was all his game. He did absolutely nothing. There was no link up play. There was absolutely nothing in the whole game that Jackson did. Um, and yeah, for my liking, I would have liked to see those substitutions done much earlier. That was
Yeah.
one pretty. First time I
Or maybe
criticized.
I would have loved them to start at least one of them, at least Nkunku
Yeah,
over Jackson. Given the fact that we're playing against him, they have a very tight defensive line.
yeah,
It's not about your strength will not stop players. You could say a fluid approach, or can you can say can overcome any defensive line.
of course. That's what I wanted too. But look, he started, but he should have taken him off. And like I said, this is the first time I've really criticized Maresca doing this because normally he would
You
make the
want him
subs
out
very
already?
early. Look, normally he would make the subs very early and use all his substitutions and make them really early to see because he sees the impact and the change. Even at halftime, he's made a couple of times subs because he's seen that he hasn't worked and he's done it at halftime. For some reason, this game, he didn't make a sub till the 83rd minute. Uh, and yeah, and then net on that they only came in the 92nd minute or something. Yeah, there was a bit of extra, but it just wasn't enough time because by that time, you know what, Crystal, what a Nottingham Forest are gonna do? They're just gonna start wasting time, and it's gonna be hard. Yeah, so
I don't know why I just don't want to talk about how late he made the substitutions. But I've seen a lot of people talk about that. A few people have complained that he didn't make the changes as early as they believe he should have. But that's by the way, go ahead.
yeah. So just laughing at Carnton's comment there. No, Carnton, no, it's not Maresca. I love Maresca. It's the first time I've actually criticized him because he's just hasn't done, I think, in my personal opinion, what he should have done. Looking at the opposition and looking at our players and the way we were playing, that's the only. I'm just going by that simply. It doesn't mean I'm Maresca out. I love Maresca, so no, there's no trouble there. But it did impact. I think it impacted because yeah, it's you saw Kunku came on, had a chance straight away, nearly should have scored. That was an easy header. I can't believe he missed that one. Felix the same. He found space straight away, got
Placement,
three.
he overplaced it. I placed it, I'd say.
He just hit it straight at the keeper.
In
When
Felix's
at
case, I
live,
think he's went
yeah,
wide.
live, I thought he hit the post and it just went wide. But then when I saw the replay, I'm like, oh my god, he hit it straight at the keeper. That was a horrible header. It was a perfect cross. He just had to guide it. No power, no nothing. Yeah, the Felix one was a little bit harder because it was a little bit behind. He had to put a bit of power onto it and place it a little bit. But even that should have gone in. But the Sancho one was the easiest out of all of them. Headers 101, header down. You have to header down. The keeper would have got nothing to it. Even if it was at the keeper, you got to header down. The ball's got to bounce. You got to be right. That way, it was just straight into the keeper. Didn't have to move his hands. It just hit him straight in the hands. So yeah, that was disappointing. But hey, look, I'm talking about how we created space. Mudryk came on straight away, got past his defender twice, two great crosses in, should have been goals. On the other side, Neto, same thing, got in straight away, past his defenders, created a couple of great chances as well. So yeah, I think if those subs, I'm being critical, but I just have high standards for Maresca. So if just those subs would have been 15 minutes earlier, maybe one of them at the halftime or something like that, I think it would have made a little bit of a difference in my opinion.
Hmm. Interesting, Jay. You have any response, or should I catch up with what we have in the chat so we continue news hunting because that's what we're doing now?
No, you can read the comments.
Okay, all right. Jay, you have somebody in the chat wanting to fight you. Chelma, the queen of the house, right there. Thank goodness we don't have any. Again, people that will rebel because Sharma is called the queen of the house. And I'm going to explain again. It's a culture here on Chelsea Perspectives. Before Dante became the captain, it was Liam Lane. It's something you could say it's driven by trust we have the community has on that person, not just me, because a lot of people will bring up the argument that yeah, because I own the channel and all that, and you know how we operate here. It's not about me, it's about all of us. And it's about trust. More importantly, trust is the reason we get to call certain people captain and queen. Unfortunately, some people didn't like that. Coach, remind me which teams play well against the block or are clinical against the block. Teams do struggle when you have 11 men behind the ball. Never going to be easy to score. But you could argue there are teams you can say that proven they're capable of dealing with low teams that defend deep effectively. Really, they will make it
Yeah, they will
difficult.
find ways. The
Yeah, you
Arsenal,
find
the
ways
City
to
will
win. Yeah,
find a
go
way.
ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I mean, City against Arsenal, you remember when they literally parked the bus, Arsenal, at
Hmm.
Etihad, and yet City managed to, take the equalizer. So they
Yep.
manage. They somehow, the good teams will struggle throughout the match, but they somehow manage. And we need to reach that level where we will struggle. It's okay to struggle, but somehow you need to find a goal here and there.
But we did find the openings, which was great to see. We did create the chances. We did,
Yeah,
like I
but
said,
we're not finishing
came
it,
on.
right?
Felix came on. We created chances.
Hmm. Fair.
They just didn't put
I
it
think
away. But
I agree with your
we did
argument
open
that
them up.
the subs. Yeah, I agree with your argument that the substitutions were a little was a little too late. He should have made it a little quick because things weren't happening with a few players. It was constant. Even after the second half, I didn't really see much, and I think Sancho struggled as well. So and Mudrik, there was a little change when he came on. Although it can also be the factor that the players were, the other players were tired a bit, but I saw the confidence as well. So he could have made a little, the substitution a little earlier. It could have
Yeah, yeah,
impacted the
I
game,
agree.
but yeah, but we
And
had
our
13
midfield,
minutes of added
unfortunately,
time
wasn't the
and
best.
we couldn't really break it in them. So it felt like we were not going to get it, even if we had more minutes added.
But we did enough to create good chances.
We did, yeah.
And the point is just like Jay have said, some teams do find a way. Some teams it's not a big issue for them. Um, but I think the signs are good. I'm not just gonna because of two games that people reference whenever they talk about start arguing that we still do struggle against the teams that defend deep or low block. I don't think two games is enough for me to say, yeah, that's the case. Especially when we finished the game with an XG of 2.46 and they didn't even get up to one. I think that was 0.73 or so. But that's why, Dante, were you saying something else?
No, that's about it. If we lost that game, maybe there could be more criticism, but we didn't
We
lose.
didn't
For
lose, yeah.
example, Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest 1-0 at Anfield. So if we actually lost that game, maybe, but we didn't lose that game. So yeah, no.
Yeah, I agree. Had we lost that game, I think I think a lot of people you can say during losses, people do speak senselessly, in my opinion. Uh, Choma. So okay, Choma. Exactly. My Mo Salah. You're responding to Choma there. What Choma that said, don't underestimate Mo Salah. And you're saying my Mo Salah argument is still below coaches John Duran. You had to
Back
bring
me up,
me in, right? You have to
Dante.
bring
Back
me
me
into
up
that
there.
argument.
You can
Yeah,
We're
ask
look,
not
Dante as
going
well.
there.
You can
the
ask
award
Dante
is
as well.
still coaches to lose.
Yeah, you're pretty much the favorite.
So I still have the worst take, right?
Worst take of the year is still there.
All right. Oh, Dante was on the panel on the day. Now I remember you. Okay. Big up to you, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I hope Ineos doesn't appoint TT. They may well do that. Um, Mourinho has been mentioned. Southgate, a lot of managers. So they haven't fired him yet. But I think when I heard the new owner, where he talked about he was just distancing himself from whatever decision that comes next. He said something to the effect of, "For me, I love Eric so much, but it's not up to me." That was when I knew, yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Yep. Cardi saying the match against Liverpool, uh, we will win. Okay, will be 1-1 lost in the midfield. If Gravenberch, the Dutch international, McAllister, Argentine, are allowed to run riot, then it could be difficult. It could be a difficult outing for us, despite my your Uber optimism. Heston, I think I think they're not going to beat us in the midfield. I think we're well equipped to, if the manager makes the right selection on the day. Romeo Lavia is not going to travel. He'd be training with the manager for the 2 weeks. I think would be good. Um, okay, he won TT won Champions League with Chelsea. I didn't know that, but thank you for telling me. Breaking news: Dante, is Maresca out? Nah, you know he's kidding. Maresca thought they were going to score. When you mean the opposition? I hope Ineos doesn't appoint TT. It may well happen, so just calm down. And TT will take that job in a heartbeat. I wish all the players the best that are on international duty. Nkunku, Fafana, Nani, Palmer, Colwell. I hope they stay injury free. Good prayer there. So I'm into that. And the match against Liverpool, do you play Tosin over Fafana? Definitely. Fafana is suspended after 5 years. Yeah.
Not a choice.
So yeah. So the question is whether the manager starts the C over him. But let's talk about that. Since we're on that right now, Jay, what would you do if you were the manager? What are you gonna do? Fafana suspended,
Um,
and you
yeah.
just have Tosin, and you have this C for that right centre back position.
Do I actually have to like answer that? Isn't it obvious? Of course, I'll start Tosin over Disasi. Disasi for me is like he's better than Badiashile, but you don't want to be, in that category, and that's not something to really brag about that I'm better than Badiashile. So Disasi still needs to prove a lot. So for me, the obvious choice is Tosin and Colville, and I think they will do pretty well. You know, coach. I think you are also a fan of Tosin. We all know his abilities as well. How experienced and calm head he is, and
Mhm.
I think it will really favor us, especially under that environment of the Anfield, where the fans are literally on the player's neck. So I think under that atmosphere, experienced Premier League centre back like Tosin will be an addition. So I don't think that we will be like missing Fofana that much at all. And I think Tosin will do a job. So for me, there's no headache over the centre back partnership at all.
I'd start Tosin over Fafana actually. But I understand there's no headache there for the left back position. It was an easy, you can say, it wasn't nothing difficult there to suggest who starts in the absence of Marco Correa. Because Ben Chilwell, I'd be shocked if he gets to start in that position over Renato Viega. Maybe if the manager wants to play Viega in the midfield because he's a Swiss Army knife. How about you, Dante? The Sissi um, or Tosin Adarabioyo?
Oh, for sure, the captain Disasi, 100%. That's why he got the captain's armband last game. He'll be in straight away.
You think he starts? You think Disasi starts over Tosin in the Liverpool game?
No, I don't know. Just
It's
giving
a
him a bit of a respect.
possibility.
He had the captain's armband. No, I don't think. I think definitely Tossen will start there. It was surprising though to see Disasi get the captain's armband, which means he likes him quite a little bit. Obviously, his attitude and his demeanor, he probably likes it quite a lot. Maresca, he's his type of sort of player. But yeah, I'll be very
It's
surprised.
just that his lack of composure under pressure.
Yeah, of course. No, look, Tosin is the one to come in. You wanted him, I wanted him in. You wanted him over Fofana. I wanted him from the start of the season over Colwell. It doesn't matter now; it's forced, and he gets his chance. He'll get his chance, and if he has a great game, clean sheet, we win, then there's every chance he continues playing there. So it's an important game for him because this we'll see exactly what he has against a tough opposition, and if he holds up and has an amazing game, Fofana might have a difficulty getting his spot back if he has such a really really good game and we win.
You think you say Fofana he might have a difficult time getting his place back?
Yeah, well, if Tosin's man of the match
If he didn't
and we
get it,
win, I
okay,
think
let
he
me
won't
let me
get
say
back
this
in.
quickly. If Fofana, you can say, if Tosin didn't keep his place, this didn't keep that place. After coming on, I think it was the game against Bournemouth when we were struggling. We were everywhere, but once he was brought on, I can't quite remember why he was brought on. Maybe because we were shaky. He settled everything. He settled the nerves of the
Yep.
entirety. Yeah, exactly. The entire his teammates, and then
Yeah.
he started the next game. He was perfect. He kept a clean sheet too. And the next game, boom, Fofana comes in. You think if Tosin plays so
Yes.
well against Liverpool that Fofana might find it difficult coming back into
Yes.
the fold? I don't think
I
so.
do. I do. Just
Okay, we'll
because
see.
if I'm saying
Who,
if he plays very well, like close to man of the match, one of the best
Didn't he
defenders
play
in the
well
world.
in that game in particular where he kept a clean sheet?
who actually started in the West Ham game,
I think it was Tosin.
and he
No,
was really
he
good
came
in
on,
that match.
didn't he?
It was Tosin.
Or maybe at halftime he
Against West
was
Ham
subbed off,
United. Let me
something
He
like
check.
that.
Let
came
me
on.
check.
He
Go
came
ahead.
on. It was a substitution,
Yeah,
coach.
No,
I think
let me check the games he started.
because there was that one full match where he was really good. He started, and we were all shouting like he needs to start with Colville, and yet he was dropped, and Fofana started the very next match, and we were all shocked,
Yeah,
and
I
that's why
remember a London derby. I think it was
yeah
against West Ham United. He put out a tweet
Yeah.
saying bubbles something bubbles to pop, and then after that win, he tweeted pop pop, just that. Let me find our matches here
Yeah,
against West Ham
I knew
United, right?
Fofana would come back in after that because he played really well before that. So I knew Fofana's going to keep his spot. But now the last couple of games,
It was
Fofana's struggled a little
just
bit.
quickly, Dante. It was definitely against West Ham United because the game before that was the game against Bournemouth where he was a sub, so he started against West Ham United, and Fofana moved to right back. Do you
So he
remember
played in
that?
the middle and then Fofana moved to the right back. No, that was during the game though, coach. It was substitution.
No, no,
That was
no.
changed at half
Fofana played in
time.
the right back position against West Ham United.
Wasn't that at half time changed?
No, he started in the right back position. I think Gusto was out injured.
Okay, I think, or do you checked?
I checked too. I'm looking at it right now. But to be sure, but even before I looked at it, I was sure that Fofana played right back on the day, and Tosin was the right centre back, Levi Colwell, and that was before again. The game before was the game against Bournemouth. He was a sub, and he did so well. The next one he started, and and like Jay said, we were all shouting that he should start the next game, and boom, he got dropped. That's why I'm saying I don't see how, no matter how well he plays against Liverpool, he still continues to be our European centre back. One of our, you can say, be playing in Europe while
Yeah.
Fofana plays in the Premier League. Even
Yeah,
though
he did. I
Fofana,
remember
the
that.
way
Yeah, I
he
looked.
comes for tackles, he'd be so easy to dribble. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
coach. The only thing I have against that one, I knew Fofana will be back in. I wanted Fofana back in.
But
I said
the chances are you're correct.
I wanted
Fofana.
Fofana back in because Fofana
Mhm.
had two really, really good games in a row. So I'm like,
But did you
yep,
notice he does make rash decisions?
yeah,
Like,
I know that. But I'm saying
yeah.
at the time, he had really good games in a row for Fofana. He was one of our best defenders. He was passing well. Looks like he got his form back. So I understand why Maresca put him in. But this is different now. He's had two games on the bounce now where he hasn't played well. And there's a big game coming up. He got that yellow card that it wasn't necessary for him to get that yellow card as well. That was a silly challenge. And if Tosin got his chance last time. He did well, but I knew Fofana was coming back in. But now again, he's out. And if Fofana does really well again, I don't think Fofana comes back this time. I'm just saying. The second time, I
And
don't
if
think.
Tosin does really well again, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
possibility.
If
I'm
he
just
does
not too
really well
sure.
again, Tosin, he proved himself, like you said,
Yeah,
but he couldn't drop. He couldn't drop Fofana. Fofana was too good those two games before. He was very good.
I hope you don't hit a brick wall just like he did in the argument of Neto coming on for.
Oh, look, I can be wrong. It doesn't matter, but it's just my
No, I
personal
understand that.
opinion.
I'm just saying we're
Yeah.
having a good conversation here. I'm just saying,
Yeah, it's just a
yeah.
conversation. But yeah, this is his chance. He's got a chance. It's a big game, don't forget. This is our biggest game so far of the season. This
Mhm.
pretty much the first game against Man City, but that was a tough one at the start of the season. First game. We weren't really that ready, to be honest. But now, since then, we haven't played anyone of that caliber. This is a big game. The top of the table, it's a big game for us. So if he comes in, it's nationally televised. It's the main game. Everyone's going to be watching it. If he does really well in this game, like the top one of the best, and we actually win because of the defensive shift he put in, then yeah, I think it would be pretty much impossible for Maresca to drop him after that.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, but will he do it? We'll find out. Honestly, yeah, that's my argument. Since he didn't do it when Tosin showed how good he can be for us in the Premier League, the match against Liverpool. Yeah, I think we've talked about that. Let's see what we have here. Yeah,
It's
I did
KK
not
leg,
say
not one
that.
K leg. It's two Ks. KK leg.
I would. I Heston Dante. Honestly, I would never forget that conversation. I, why did I say it in the first place? But Nigerians, honestly, the sort of things they say. I don't know if you heard me talk about how if a woman has a beard, they say she's wicked. Definitely.
Well, every country's got their sayings and their little
Yeah.
quirks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's some ridiculous things like that. Well, let's see. And Mark user interface goes in the house. Korea doesn't know he's suspended. That's a possibility. You never know. But I love him. I'm glad we didn't sell him, and we nearly sent him out on
Just to
loan to
touch on that
Manchester
one, coach,
United.
before you move on to
But,
the Cucurella. So I didn't know why he got suspended. First of all, he
a
got pushed.
5 yellow cards.
Yeah, but he got pushed into that player. The player pushed him into Maresca, and then he didn't get involved in the
Then we should
fight.
appeal it.
Yeah,
Can we
but
not?
what I did find out now, what he did, he yelled in the fourth official's face and abusive language.
It sounds like
That,
what he'd do. Do you
yeah.
doubt that?
Well, he
I'm
did. Look
done.
at the replays. You'll see it. You'll actually
Oh,
see
okay.
it.
I have to watch it again.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
nice to
So
see
the
you,
fourth
ID
official told
Crisis man. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I
the fourth
think
official told the
back.
referee to give him a
Go
yellow.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
the fourth official told the referee to give him a yellow. The referee did not give him a yellow.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think I haven't rewatched the game honestly. I think back three of the Sissi Tosin and Colwell will not be. Okay, will not be back 3-5-2. Okay. Apologies for that. I'm not sure I quite understand. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along where we have 95 people in total following the show, but only 24 on YouTube, the rest on X. If you're following the show on X, just so that we appreciate you because you following the show alone does go a long way. But we want to ask you for one favor, which is to like the video, share the video on X, and also follow our X account to help us reach 5,000 followers. We're getting there. We're currently at 4,000, I think, 480 or 490 right now. We appreciate that. So thank you. And if you're following the show on YouTube, please keep dropping the likes on the stream. We should have a lot more likes, but here's the thing. Usually when we stream in this format, we don't get too many likes, but we get a lot more views than when we stream in landscape format, if that makes sense. Tosin must start. I think he starts, but let's see. Viega left back, definitely. That's he slots in there perfectly. In the central area, the 2 6s, one of which is hybrid, one with the role of shielding the defensive line. I think we're good there. Casade can actually do a good job against Liverpool. He's physical, and that kid, I think he's underrated, really. But let's see what the manager does on that day. The back three of DCC, Tosin, and Colwell will be good. 3-5-2 formation. Okay. Tosin in the 3-5-2, maybe central. What do you think, Dante? Yeah,
Yeah, it has
central
to be
definitely.
central, and
Yeah.
that's just the thing with the Vega coming in as left back as well, coach. So
Mhm.
he won't be. Would you invert him? Be the one inverting, or he will be the one? He'll be the left center back.
Mm. Right, and by the way, okay, I'll tell Dante that later. All right, now I wanted to say something. How he a little connection issue. I'll try to join if resolved. Okay, thank you, bro. But we appreciate you. So do you add Pogba to this squad?
No,
No,
the
no.
guy's basically retired
I
already.
just
Anyway.
yes, no, I'm going to say no, and I don't have to explain why I'm saying no. I'm saying no just for the sake of it, maybe, but I don't want him, and I don't think we'd go for him. His salary is redonkulous, first of all. I think he'd move to Saudi Arabia, and some rumors are suggesting that he wants to go to join MLS side in Inter
MLS. Yeah.
Miami to play with Leo Messi. I don't think we can pay him. I don't think we'll actually want him in our squad. I think we're good. In all honesty, he would have been excellent for the Enzo Fernandez role. He has the vision to fulfill that role and can score from outside the box um, with efficiency, in my opinion. But go ahead, Dante. You were saying something.
No, 100% no, no. He's basically retired. He's out of shape. He hasn't played for a while. He's just, yeah, he wants to go MLS, like you said. No, there's no chance of him joining a big team anywhere. No chance.
Yeah, I think he's a liability.
Off-field issues. Let's not forget how
Somewhat
many
given.
off-field issues he
Yeah, go
has,
ahead.
what he brings as well. So the baggage he brings, and he's old. He's not young anymore.
Yeah, and also I think clubs will not. It's not going to overlook the severity of what he was accused of. And he's not been cleared of that. After the appeal, the only thing that happened is that they are reduced the length of time he'd been out. He's banned from playing professional football, if that makes sense. So it's not like they're not saying he's innocent. He's the one saying that he didn't deliberately do that. It was an accident. But that reminds me of the story from an Arsenal player saying he mistakenly took his wife's medicine. How did I not remember his name? But yeah, I think he's a liability. Um, let's see. I don't know even if the Saudis would want him because
Yeah,
what
I
he
don't even
did.
think the Saudis
Yeah,
would want him, to be honest. I
yeah,
don't think he'll go there. I think the only chance is MLS, to be honest. But that's it.
yeah. No big club in Europe would want to
Maybe he can come to
sign him.
Australia as well. We got some room for him here in Australia as well.
You think they'd take him?
They would. The A League would take him. Yes, the Australian A League would take him. We take all the rejects. Most of them, we take them all.
But big name rejects maybe for branding
Yeah, big
purposes.
name rejects. Yeah, we take
Yeah.
them all. They all come through here. End of their
All right.
careers, they all come here.
F22. Every time I see your name and I say F22, the next thing that comes to mind is Raptor. F22 CFC. Right now, I pray we sign Pogba. I pray we don't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say, as Nigerians who say, God forbid. And I bind you in Jesus' name, as Nigerians would also. Casado Pogba midfield looks to break low block and defend very well. And with Enzo, who's a fraud and Lavia midfield, is too solid. I think that's just your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion. In my opinion, I don't think we need Pogba. I don't think so. Do you add Pogba? No, I've said no. That's my opinion. Maybe you want us to add them. I don't want us to add them. Let's get the likes up, people. The likes to go a long way. 16 likes, and we are 1 hour, 54 minutes into the show. We can do a lot better than that, and we still have 91 people watching, but only 20 on YouTube. The rest on X. Let's see what else we have here. I think Coach is right on this one, as there is a method that Maresca has laid down, and he would like to see his settled 11 get a good run until there are consistent bad performances. Okay, maybe you mean Dante is right. Or was it Dante or who? Okay, but thank you, Can. I appreciate that. Would you agree that Nkunku should be starting? Jackson seems to have no confidence in finishing. He's not been consistent. And that was why after one game I praised him, but I also have a post on X saying the most frustrating thing about him is that he does everything else well. But what matters most, he hasn't done efficiently and consistently, and that's an issue. And that's an issue. But here's the thing. I think given that the manager by now should be well acquainted with his deficiencies and you can say with his profile, knowing
Mhm.
that when there's no space for him to exploit, when there are no spaces for him to exploit, he'd struggle. And we have players like Nkunku, even João Felix to mix things up when we play against teams that defend as tightly. You can ask not him for his deed, which was why I told Bobby that it just seemed as if we could have been better off starting with the substitutes, and we did argue that during the pregame show, and even during the prediction show. But the manager does his thing. One thing that gives me confidence is that I've come to realize that he's a very smart manager. Will probably over time figure that out. Or let me just go by what I remember Dante said. He's going to give you time, benefit of the doubt, and if you don't come good once he drops you, that's it. That may well be the case. Nani Madueke scored on that day. I think the same game, maybe I need to rewatch it. We did see occasions where he should have squared the ball to his teammates he then. But I could be wrong, but I need to watch it again. Wait. Kukurea was abusive. Dante has explained. I didn't see that part, but I trust Dante. I know he's seen it again. That's probably why he said that with conviction. You want to talk about that more, or should I move on?
No, I mean they're doing it a bit too much, yeah, for my liking. The last couple of games, it's been a bit of a problem. Them getting yellow cards, yelling at the referee, kicking the ball away, silly ones. Before that, it was mostly technical fouls, bad tackles, football stuff. But now the last couple of games, it's gotten a bit out of control, and I think Maresca needs to stamp on that. He needs to get onto that and tell him, look, you can't be doing this, especially Cucurella. He's 20, nearly 27. How old? 26, 20. He's one of the senior players. He
Yeah, he's
should
one of
not be
the
doing
senior
that.
players. Yeah.
He knows he's on a yellow. Okay, yeah, you got pushed into the player. The player got dealt with. The guy got a yellow card. They wasn't a red. It is what it is. But you don't yell into the fourth official's face, right up in his face, and swearing and using language. You just don't do that. You're going to get a yellow. It's an automatic yellow. Like, you can't do that. That's just that's a silly yellow to get. I actually would have preferred him if he got into the fight and then got a yellow for that, but not
Rather
for
than
this.
scream at the referee
Yeah,
to his face.
even Maresca said that in the press conference. He likes players that they stood up and they're fighting and they're doing that. 100%. I'm the same, and I'm exactly like that. But I don't want to see a player getting needless yellows, like standing there yelling to the fourth official's face and abusing him. What for? What's he gonna do? He's not gonna do nothing. The decision's been made already. It's not gonna change.
Yeah. Let me ask this quickly. Why is Fortmob listing Malagusto as injured? Is he injured really?
No, I don't think he's injured. No, I didn't see anything anywhere. No.
Oh, maybe for that particular game, because I have on my screen the West Ham game. So, yeah. Okay, that was
Well,
why.
that's
Which is
why.
why.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why Tosin. Yeah, that's why Fafana started right back. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So yeah, I hope so too, Nemaya. And I hope Ineos doesn't appoint TT. If they give him a call, he'd take it one in a heartbeat. And I'm telling you that right now. It's been out of the game of only 18 months. Who's been
That's a
only
long time.
18?
Proper.
Oh yeah. I mean, he should be practicing at home, but irrespective
Yeah.
of
Right.
whether he's been practicing or not, I don't see any big club going for him. If Juventus, if they've decided to terminate his contract, it's for a reason, and other clubs will pay attention to that. Um, um, I would add Pogba to the squad. He fits like a glove to the Mandem FC. I'm not gonna do that if I were the manager or the scouts or maybe the sporting directors. I would not do that, but again, that's my opinion. And the French speaking clique, even at that, I'm still not gonna do it. That's who I am. You guys notice that? Notice that a question about tight spaces versus Jackson, and yet Maresca doesn't. Damn, that sounds like Pochettino. No, I think I'm gonna sound. Let me say something that Dante. I know he'd be happy that yeah, I'm copying him. Um, Well, how did he say it again? Uh, I would have preferred Nkunku to start that game. I can't quite remember how Dante did put it. That is just that. Okay, I think what I was looking for that Dante said, that's my only criticism of him. One of, in my case, yeah, I think it was clear. I learned that. Well, what game was that? I think it was against West Ham United. He was explosive against a side that play a very high line. Then we already know that when there are tight spaces, he seems to struggle quite a lot. Um, yeah, I think it was obvious. But the manager, I trust him well enough to learn that, yeah, he has to play Nkunku when we play against him to defend deep, even Jar Felix. And Jar Felix, I think he will still explode. He's getting there gradually. Nani scores because he saw Nato warming up.
100%.
I mean, you never know because it takes in most cases we're humans. It takes competition to get us to do better, or it takes the fear of us losing our place to look in the mirror and you could say do the right things, not to lose our place.
Well, the goal he scored, coach. So did you see how Nani was celebrating?
Yeah, with the manager, I think the manager tried to explain that they had a
Yep.
conversation or something. Go ahead with what you were saying. Can you talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it if you want
So,
to?
yeah, so I didn't know what I thought he was swearing at the bench someone, but after Maresca said he told him pre-game, you haven't scored in 3 games, you better score this game if you don't, like in a joking way, but I don't think he was joking. I think he was probably pretty real. And yeah, so Nani ran towards him, fingers pointing out, saying, see, I scored, blah, blah, swearing something. But
Did he swear?
he did swear, yeah, but like, in a joking way,
I'm not
but
a
swearing,
Liverpool reader, but go ahead. In a joking way, yeah. Just
in a joking way, yeah, yeah, yeah,
mm.
yeah. And that's why Maresca laughed and turned away and laughed again because yeah, yeah. But that's when Neto was started warming up as well. So yeah, that
So
goal,
maybe
he scored the goal that earned him another 15 minutes on the field. I think otherwise he would have come
he
off.
was eventually subbed in that game, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was. But I'm saying that goal is earned him another 15 minutes on the
Yeah,
field. I think.
yeah, possibly. You never know. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Or perhaps Kukurea knew this and he chickened out, knowing that he's not gonna be selected for the game versus Liverpool. Haaland Man City game gave him too much PT. Gave him too much PTSD. I think the latter part of that comment. Now I understand that the comment better. Lavia should have come on against Forest. I wonder why Maresca didn't. Probably didn't want to risk too much, in my opinion. Have a great day to you too, Chama. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. So let's go back to news hunting. We still have a bit of
Big
time
up
to
Choma.
go in case Dante's still here. Go ahead. Were you saying something?
Just saying, take care to Choma. Have a good day.
Yeah, Choma, enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for joining us. Here, Enzo Maresca comment 3 hours ago. We have 7 or 8 players with us during an international break. So we're going to be focusing on them and seeing what we can do with them. Ooh, so let me go like this. So we have the full list of the players listed here. Romeo Lavia, Jadon Sancho, Carney Chukwuemeka, Kenan Driscoll, Hall, Axel, the Sansi, Tosin, Adara, Oyo, Benoit, Badiashile, Reece James. For the midfield area, I mean, it makes sense to argue. I think we'll be all right after the international break if we have this many players training with the manager. But why is Reece James with asterisks? When is this supposed to return date? Actually, I can't
Reece
remember.
James is always asterisk, coach. It's just how they put his name now. They just asterisked it automatically.
But let me ask this quickly: when is this? What date is this supposed to return date? I don't know.
We don't know. It's asterisks.
This is serious. This is serious, really. Why am I even
It's true
laughing?
because they first, they said it 2 weeks ago. Now it was extended another 2 weeks, and now again, when they got asked, they said they don't know. We have to check. So it's there's no clear answer.
I thought he's returned to food training. I don't know. Let's see what we have here. Don't worry, coach. Us poverty Chelsea folks have contacted Iqbali already. Go ahead. Let's see if it happens. You think you're gonna scare me with that? He's back, but light training, I think. So if it's light training already, I think 2 weeks will be enough for him to be ready and make a difference on the day, in my opinion. I wouldn't even mind Gusto playing on the left hand side while James is standing in the right back position. Gusto can invert, even if you think he's not good at it yet. Maybe hasn't perfected it as much as Cucurella. Not a problem for me. Reese return is an end of October. Okay. I was looking at the wrong one here. It was this is when we played at the time we played West Ham United, if that makes sense. Just saying okay, didn't he pop up in pictures with training kit? Yeah, that doesn't mean he's fully fit. That means Kuku Fafana and Kunku Palmer, Madrid and Enzo Casado going for international break. We shouldn't be calling that international break. Maybe international assignments for their respective countries. International break. Maresca should withdraw Fernandez from international team. I don't think that happens. We were the reason why he didn't participate in the Olympics. I don't think he'd agree to forfeit representing Argentina. I don't see that happening. So I need to go back one more time so we can continue with news hunting. Then it won't be long before we round up. So we've addressed this. Anything new here? And if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat and we will try to address it. 17 likes, but I know fully well we can do a lot better than that. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that Twitter nonsense. CFC mod and I think Janti both. I'm hearing they've sold their account, and some rumors suggest that I think it was CFC mod sold his for $90,000. That's absolute hush dong. I don't believe that for a bit. Okay. This is, you can say, related news, maybe a news for our sister channel. This is saying Strasbourg now have the 8th most valuable squad in League One. According to Transfer Market, Bluco has built an exciting team for them with Nanasi, one of the best transfer deals of the last transfer window. What a player. Okay, let's not talk about Nanasi now. You can say there are a few games that Strasbourg could have won, but those games ended in draws. They have a very exciting squad. They play very well, but I think they don't defend well, really, because I've seen them lead by 2-0 and end up. Did they lose now? Maybe the game finished in a draw. This is saying I pray Argentina team or Enzo don't do stupid thing again. We have enough drama and certainly do not need bad vibes. We don't. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see, coach. Please call the Shamsa to manage Nkunku's minutes. I would do that. Yeah, Strasbourg 8. The WAF new squad value is how much am I looking at there? That's 182 million. Not bad. Difference is plus 24 million. Okay. Anything new here? This is catch us if you can. Most goal involvement since the start of the season. Cole Palmer has 44 in total. Okay. Since it started, how does this make sense, Dante?
It's a bit small. I can't see it because I'm on the laptop, so I can't see that format.
Okay. But let's just go with it. Most goal involvement since the start of last season. No wonder. There you go. Now it makes sense. I read it the wrong way. I read it as the season. So Cole Palmer in total has 44 goals plus assists. Wow, not bad. Followed by Erling Haaland, followed by Oli Watkins, Mohamed Salah 36, Bukayo Saka 34, and people still compare him to our star boy in Cole Palmer. So a lot of good players there. Nicholas Jackson sneaks in there with 26. Not bad, honestly. And 18 goals in total since last season for Nicholas Jackson and 8 assists. So not bad. So we keep Kai Havertz at the bottom. Okay, we keep hunting. We're still news hunting there. We'll be reading a few interesting stuff from pundits about Chelsea players or our team as a whole. What else do we have here? 18 likes. We should be doing way better than that, people. That's anything else you want to talk about?
Coach, no, we've covered pretty much everything. It's up to you. If you got any other topics you want to go through, I'm all good. I'm here to support you and help you, of course.
Okay, I appreciate that. We'll continue news hunting. And if anybody in the chat has any questions, please drop it. With try to address that. I'm just going to wait to see if we get to 1,000 views. It's now 719. The likes doesn't reflect that whenever we stream in the
That's
particular
the
format.
graphic user interface there is just saying that he should be highly considered for Ballon d'Or. Unfortunately, I don't agree with that.
Who should be considered?
Palmer.
Go ahead. Let's hear your response to what he said.
You won't be considered for a Ballon d'Or if you're in a team that, you have to finish up high. You have to be involved in the big competitions. Unfortunately, we're not there.
And win. Win also.
Yeah, you have to win at least, win some trophies, something somehow. There's no chance of us from last year. We didn't win anything. We finished, outside the top four. You can't win it. Unfortunately, the team has to do well. It doesn't matter those great numbers. I agree that it's those type of numbers he's putting up. But when you're in a team that's not winning and that's lower in the table, you're never going to get considered. It's just how it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I wouldn't say, unfortunately, to some extent, I like it. That's because if you glorify, how am I going to say it, individual accolades, then it creates issues. But if your team has to win, irrespective of how well you do, for you to be able to win that Ballon d'Or, I think it reduces the extent at which personal glory or personal accolades, this is the rate at which you can say it causes selfishness. For lack of a more specific language there, but I hope I'm making sense. Let's see what else. Yeah, go ahead. Were you saying something?
Exactly, coach. Even with the young player of the year, he did win it. Obviously, for Chelsea, he's won all the awards. But even last season with the young player of the year, how Foden won it again, he won Man City the league. Basically, he was the best player, basically. So yeah, he was the most important player. So there's no way you can give it to Cole Palmer when we finish, sixth, and they finish first and win the championship and win the cup as well over us when we played against them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no chance Palmer can get it either. Again, it's the same argument. Yeah, exactly the same.
Yep, thank you so much for that. Let me see, what else do we have here? And that's from Siaka, South Africa. Nice to see you, Siaka. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all Chelsea Football Club fans, who will Chelsea be playing against next in the competition? Liverpool is our next game immediately after the international break. Let's see. Big up to you, Coachila Samo. Nice to see you, my Ghanaian bro. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. The panelists and everyone, if you have any questions for us, drop it in the chat. Why we news hunt? And that's what we're going to be doing every day. We're going to come out until the international break ends, and we're going to go for news hunting. If we find anything interesting beyond the news, we'll still talk about it. Big up to you too, my bro. I'd be saying a separate note, Pochettino has been spotted in Austin, Texas at a local barbecue and shopping for
Coach, you're going to run into him soon, Coach. Be careful.
We're not there yet, It's in December, then I'll become a Texan.
You're going to have barbecue with Poch.
I will not. If I see him, I'll take my kids and run. Just kidding. Probably ask for a photo.
Yeah, you're shameless.
Yeah,
you'll ask for a photo.
I get the joke. You said I'm shameless?
You'll ask for a photo. 100% you will.
I will, definitely. Wouldn't you? Be honest. I know you didn't like him, but wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't know.
I disagree, really.
No, I'm telling you, 100% I would not.
All right. Alan Shearer, I think he's doing a good job. Maresca, he's mentioned about Maresca. He's fighting a lot of fires there at Chelsea in terms of the size of the squad. Why mention that? Do we have a size issue still? Do we really? What is this?
You had to mention it.
Why? Yeah, he had to. He has to. Otherwise, I think here's the thing. The shocking thing is that every time they talk about Chelsea, they have to find a way to squeeze in something negative. He started by saying how well the manager is doing. I think he's doing a good job because he's fighting a lot of fires there at Chelsea in terms of the squad side is no longer an issue. We've moved on a lot of players. Do they know how to do calculations? Just the same thing that was happening at the time when we had a lot of those players, most of which have gone on loan. Some of them were sold. You still see we sell. Let's say initially, if they were saying we had 44 players, 3 players will leave on loan. We'll sell one today. Tomorrow they still say we have 44 players. What is this? But that's how I'll let you speak.
Well, we still have
I'm
44
just happy
players now,
Bobby isn't
apparently.
here
So.
because when she starts talking about such comments, he doesn't stop.
Yeah, coach, we still have 44 players now. What are you on about? So that's exactly how it is. So it just shows you how much. Well, we know Alan Shearer didn't really like Chelsea because he didn't win anything, and he was the best scorer ever, but he never won anything. And Chelsea did get in the way quite a lot. So we know he doesn't like Chelsea very much. So just a little dig, just a little sly dig. Just it is what it is. That's what they
Yeah, he
do.
had to mention the squad size, right?
Yeah, he has to. That because that discredits a little bit Chelsea. So, it's he's praising Chelsea, Maresca and Chelsea, but it discredits them a little bit as well. So, yeah, just a little dig. They like to do that. They like to just throw that in there always. Unfortunately, these ex players that played when we were really good, they don't like Chelsea very much. Unfortunately, it's just the truth. I've seen it too many times.
Wow. That's seriously crazy. Yeah, there you go. You got a response you want there, right? Let's see. I'd asked Poch for a picture too. Yeah, honestly, no shame there. That that's why our marketing chiefs has they've resigned, laid off, or fired. All the news outlet are targeting us and not Eric Ten Hag. Yeah, they talk about how much we spend. Nobody talks about how many years that has passed the years that have passed at Manchester United. They haven't won anything, and how much they spent. Remember, at one point they had Edson Cavani, what's the Argentine international that played for PSG, that left them and went to PSG and killed it there. One of my most liked players, a former Real Madrid player. Um,
Di Maria,
Gosh, who?
Di Maria.
Di Maria. They've had such players that you can say they've signed thousands and thousands of players, moved them on, signed new players, yet they haven't won anything serious ever since. And he's saying there's nothing wrong with the current Chelsea squad. We have quality. Yeah, we have depth. And we don't have too many players like he's referencing. I don't know what's wrong with them. And okay, let me just move on from him. And GFC Gobert, nice to see you, my bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I do hope you're doing well. Big up Dante, the one coach in the building, my bro. Much love to you. Please, next time you schedule a show, do let me know. I can sometimes if I haven't redirected to either that of Tobeho or Tice, I can redirect people to your shows once this ends. They go there, drop a like, even if they're not able to join later, but I really would like to join your next show. Nice to see you, my bro. You do know what to do. Di Maria, information supreme. That's a reflective of your name, really. How quickly you plugged in the name I was looking for there. And then he goes on to say there's no doubt that they would have taken fourth after 7 games. I don't expect them to challenge for the title. I haven't changed my mind on them. They could finish anywhere between 4th and 8th. So you have to choose one. That's so vague. You have anything to say, Dante?
Exactly. It's vague. It's very vague, and it's just something to say, but he's not really saying anything. So yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
making
so
a
that's
comment
so
because he has
freaking vague,
to, but
really.
he
Go
doesn't really
ahead.
want to comment on Chelsea. So yeah.
Yeah, that's vague. I don't like it. And Khan is saying, we have quality plus a manager coach who knows his stuff and is ruthlessly focused on his long term goals. I do like this, man. I think we were lucky. Yep. And the moment we knocked, he answered. He wanted to come to us, and it's working out so far. And yes, people, please go check out GFC Gavin's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. I know he's probably at work. Let's help him get to 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. The link is there. You can see it there.
Big up, Gavin. Hope
And
he's
it
well, my man.
reads, sorry?
I'm just saying, big up to Gavin. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, Dante saying big up to you. This is saying, okay, please guys, can you please subscribe to his YouTube channel? The link here. Let's help him grow. Here's the thing. I think what works the most is like redirecting people to shows you have on. Most cases, shout outs don't really work. I have to be honest, but we do it anyway. Every now and then it gets you a few subscribers, but not really all the time. So, but the support is talking about it, and also you can say redirecting to your shows when I suspect that you're at work. Anything here? If you have any questions, drop in the chat. Jason Condi, 5 hours ago, not bad. We can talk about it. Let's see what he has to say here about Mudryk. I don't think Mudryk is going anywhere. I've said that before, and he's getting better and better. And I think the manager, whatever he says about him, is calculated. He said about him so far during post games or pre-game presses. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and it looks like he's getting into his head. But Jason Condi is saying, I think he has to go out on loan. I don't see that happening. I don't see a place for him at the moment. He's now behind Sancho. So if he goes out on loan, if something happens to Sancho, what are you going to do? He's behind Neto. He's behind Nani Madueke. He's behind Joao Felix. He's way down that pecking order. For me, I don't see a player in there. I'm not going to even expand that particular comment, but I think this is absolute hot stunk from him coming from Jason Condi. There's a good player there, and it's showing. I think the manager trusts him, just wants him to get better, and I think he'll get there. But until let's hear you.
Yeah, I agree, coach. And yeah, Kandi is he's being consistent. He said that from the start. He never liked Mudryk, so he said it from the start. He's continuing that. So yeah, at least he's being consistent with it. But yeah, I agree. I mean, you saw the difference. If you know how to use Mudryk, and like you said, get into his head, coach him, know how to use him, when to use him, he can be very, very effective. And we did see that, like I said, against Nottingham Forest. Sancho is a great technical player, great dribbler. He did that all game, but he didn't get past his man once. Mudryk comes on first, and he gets past his man twice and sets up two great chances. So there is a time to use him. He will be valuable when you need to use him. You just have one or two wing can get injured very easily, so you need depth in that position. So I think it's great that we have depth. Like you say, Sancho gets one injury. Well, Mudryk's
What
almost
happened?
starting every other game, so it's not quite, Neto's got an injury record as well, so he gets injured. One of these two wingers get injured. You've pretty much got Mudryk as a starter. So yeah, no, we need to keep him. He's definitely not going on loan. If it is, it will be at the end of the season. Or unless we buy someone or something, we're looking at something in January, and someone much better already, more established. They think the team's ready to move to someone else. Maybe that's, but otherwise, no chance. No chance he's going anywhere. No, I think he'll be here to the.
They like him, and we did hear from Fabrizio Romano that the club still likes him. They still believe in him, and we all know. I think his arrival, maybe his start to life as a Chelsea player, was mishandled under what's his name, Graham Potter. But go ahead, what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good, coach. Yeah. Like you said, he likes him. I did see him taking a lot of time with him. He's training. They're really training him at. I've seen the training sessions. They're really working with him. He's gonna do that. He does like him, but that doesn't mean he's not gonna pull the plug on him either, saying he might not be ready or send him out on loan. We know Maresca's not scared to do that. It doesn't matter if he likes him. It doesn't really matter. It's not personal. It's business at the end of the day. So if he doesn't work out till January, if he doesn't improve, and I've seen improvement already. I think he's improved, especially the last couple of games. He's come on. He's done very well, in my opinion. And the game he started as well. He was one of the best players on the field. So I think he's improving, and he's using him correctly. remember I said with the Noni comparison, he gave Mudryk 2 or 3, nearly I think 3 games in a row start in the cup, and then a couple of the league games, and he didn't do well at all, and he's dropped him, and he hasn't been back since. Just slowly, the last couple of games, he started him in that European Cup, and then the last couple of Premier League games, he integrated him, bringing him off the bench, and he's done very well. So that just shows you that he's working with him, and he actually said he's working with him. He wants to work with him closely and really try to get the best out of him. But like I said, if he
I
doesn't
think
get
if you
the
didn't want
best
him,
out of
I
him,
don't think he'd be in the squad in the first place. But go ahead.
correct, exactly. That's my exact point I was going to. And yeah, and if it doesn't work and he doesn't get it out of him by the end of the season, he'll be moved on. I'm pretty confident in that, because Maresca doesn't keep players. He doesn't think, he's worked on him. He's tried, no good. It's business, like I said. In the end, unfortunately, it's not personal.
Yeah, indeed. The way Mudryk played in the Conference League was brilliant, creative. He's created a lot of chances. He was just unlucky that some of the chances he's created weren't put away by those that were at the end of those chances. Waiting for Misha to be good is like waiting for the coming of Christ. Wow. Agenda. AB saying, did Condi miss that Mudryk runner from deep in Chelsea's half, practically running with the ball on the touchline, then delivering a sweet cross? I think he
Yep,
puts
that's the
in
one
good
in Kuki missed.
crosses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one in
he
Kuki
did.
missed.
He does put in good crosses, but has not been lucky in terms of getting assists from them. And I think he would do well. Information Supreme is saying get rid of Mudryk and bring in Kudus. I like Kudus. I mean, I think that their profile is different. If I get Kudus, I'd play him either
More
as a
central.
10 or
Yeah,
maybe
more
right
central.
wing, really. But he's an excellent player, no question. Or even left wing, though. But I don't think the club will get rid of
We
Mudryk.
don't need Kudus. We've got
I don't
players
think we need.
coming in,
Yeah,
and
we have numbers there. As much as I like him,
yeah.
but if we sign him, if we try to sign him, I'm not going to say no. Go ahead, Dante. You were saying something.
Let's not forget we've got players coming in that position, and also
Yeah.
Esteval. So we've got 2 young players coming in, very highly talented players coming in. So next season, so we don't really need Kudus, to be honest. If you're saying would you do a swap now for Mudryk and Kudus? Yeah, you'd probably do that, because Kudus is the better player at the moment, definitely. But yeah, that's not going to happen. That's just unfortunately, that's not going to happen at the moment.
And here's something else to pay attention to, Dante. I don't think we'll be signing a lot of players.
No, I don't either.
In 2-3 years, actually, we're not going to be maybe a number 9, but
Yep.
in the defense, we still have we have a Salmino coming in. I don't think we'll
Correct.
be maybe one more defender. I don't know. That is if we have an outgoing from that department. But wingers, I don't see us signing another winger for a while. Number 10 position, I don't see us signing any player
No.
that's traditionally a 10 and is not capable of playing on the flanks. So I don't think we'll be signing too many players for a while. Honestly,
that is the
maybe a
plan.
number 9.
That's what the plan is. That's what they've planned. That was the strategy. That's the strategy they're using. Give this young team a little bit time to mature, and the next signings that will be just very quality signings, just to top up, like a striker,
Yeah, if need
maybe
be,
a
yeah.
central defender if one leaves or something. The other ones, it doesn't work out with some of them. Stuff like that. Like, really 2-3 players max, no more than that.
Yeah, I do like this one. Our factory assembly line is packed with players. We don't need. Yeah, we're backlogged, so we don't. We don't need more. It makes sense, and like Dante said, that has always been the plan. Um, I don't know if it'd be correct to use the term inventory. Maybe let me just you can say respect the fact that we're talking about humans here. The plan has always been to have enough players somewhere that if we need them, we just bring them back and add them to the squad, and we'll be good, honestly. And I think it works, and we're packed for a while. And once things click for us, once everything fall into place, I think we will honestly dominate for a while. That's just my opinion. Chief Marketing Officer Claire Cronin has become the latest senior executive to leave Chelsea after 15 months at the club, at the job. I didn't know she existed. But we move on from that one. Did that happen really? I don't know if you're following that, but I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know if you're following what's going on here. Something going on X, like CFC Mod selling its account. Rumors are that he sold
No
it for
idea.
$90,000.
Rupees.
I don't believe that. I think it's absolute horse dog.
90,000 rupees, that coach.
Rubies?
Yeah.
That's how much in dollars or pounds?
That's like, I don't know, 9,000 maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's a lot of money. What I saw was $90,000 really.
I don't
Uh
think it can't be that much.
okay.
I doubt it very much.
Coach, I saw a report that we are concerned about Pi's lack of development this season. That was a made up. Let me speak like Bobby. That was a made up shit. Pies has been in excellent form. He doesn't have to score in every game to be the player we know we've signed. Yeah. Kendra
Unfortunately, that's
Pies.
what everyone's looking at now. Has he scored? Has he assisted? If he hasn't, horrible.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the metrics. That's the metric they're using. You can say, oh, how they measure how good the player is to say that he's been scoring or whether he's been creating chances and all that. But no, Pies. They're not. The club are not going to think twice. He's coming back. And he's going to be with us for 25-26 season. And I've heard actually that he will participate in the Club World Cup for us. But for Esther William, Palmeiras are trying to keep him until after the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was going to be the case, actually. I think I did a video on that. But let's see. I'm just waiting 200 more or 196 more to get it to 1,000 views. I'm going to wait. Let's wait a bit till we get there. Hopefully,
We'll get
Dante
there
still
very
has
soon,
the
coach.
time. But we will be doing shows on the sister channel. We've gone into 1,000. We're hoping to get more people on board there. I know Chelsea Perspective is the first love, but I think Soccer Perspective has the potential to grow even bigger. But I'm not going to let this go. But we're working on finding a way to, you can say, have content there on a consistent basis if we can. Let's see what else we have here. All the best young players of, yeah, I think we got them all. Let's think about it. And Dante, let's talk about this. I know I talked about this before. I think Messinho, Christopher Willian, he's a much better player than the guy that went to Real Madrid. What's his name again? I think he's a much better player than that guy. Endrick. But Endrick, he joined the club that has, you can say, a more powerful PR avenue, maybe.
He's not even close to Endrick's far away from Estevao in terms of technical ability, dribbling. He's far away, but he's a different position too. So he's a striker.
Who's far better? Endrick better than
No,
Estevao?
Estevao's much better than him.
Technically, yeah.
Technically,
maybe more
dribbling,
powerful, right? More physical.
Yeah, so that's what I'm. So technically and dribbling, taking players on, he's way better than him. He's stronger. Endrick is much stronger. Obviously, Endrick is very good. Has a great shot on him. He's got a good shot. He's got that. He's a striker, so he's better in the air. But overall player, definitely Messinho is much better than him, 100%.
I'm still not sure how we were able to pull off that deal because there were other clubs that was interested. You could argue we were lucky that Barca had their financial situation because it just seemed as if he also wanted to go to Barca, but they didn't have the money to facilitate the move.
We bid the most, coach. We put the most money on the table. Very simple, and we did give him a good pathway because our youth structure and the way we were going. So
and also we do have a lot of young players in our squad, so it'd be easy to tell them, look, playing young players is our thing. You come, you have a place. But go ahead.
The culture for the young players and what we were doing in the market and how we were setting up the team. If this was us under Abramovich when we had all our players, these players wouldn't sign for us because they just wouldn't. There's no pathway. They just wouldn't sign.
And in all honesty, a lot of them, even if they join us, irrespective of how good they are, probably won't play that much.
Yeah, and we did see plenty of that. We saw Kevin De Bruyne, Salah. We saw a lot of players that was the case. So they just wouldn't get a go, and they knew they wouldn't get a go, and they'd just have to go somewhere else and play. So yeah, one of the big reasons we got some of these players is because of the format and how we're structuring the team. So they've got a pathway. So next year they'll come in. There's not big pressure on them. They don't have to start and be superstars straight away. They don't, they're going to be integrated into the team slowly. They'll get game time slowly. They'll play here and there. If they prove themselves, then they'll go up in the team. So there's a good pathway. They don't come with 100 million pressure on them, to come in and perform straight away, because we already have some of those young players in place. There's competition, even though they're highly touted. There's still competition there. But the good thing is they're all around the same age. They're young, and there's a good pathway for them. If he's good enough, of course, he's going to start and play every game if he performs straight away and he isn't amazing at training and everything. So, but there is a pathway there for them. So that was very important in us. And then obviously the financial side of things, we paid a lot more, but also there was no one else to pay more. The big clubs, they didn't have that money at the time.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. I think CFC needs a CB for stability in the defensive. Just my opinion. Yeah, you're tight. We may well sign another CB. After all, we were looking at a few. Question: what will be your back four against Liverpool? Easy peasy for me. Left back Renato Vieira, left centre back Levi Kowa, right centre back Tosuna Dara Bioyo, right back Malo Gusto. Maybe James. If James is fully fit, but I don't see James starting that game. If he's recovered fully for that game, that's the back four for me. Gusto, definitely. I hope he's not injured. Were you saying something, Dante?
I was saying James definitely won't be playing. He won't be ready for then. No chance. He won't be ready.
You don't think he gets a few minutes on that day?
I don't think he's from what I heard, end of October. So yeah, I don't think he'll be ready, to be honest. He just started his plan, which is a 4-week plan. So I don't think he'll be ready. No.
All right. Let me just tell Vic to go away. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. What else do we have here? Mudryk will come good, hopefully. Does anyone remember Zhikov? Yuri Zhikov? Yep, the Russian, former Russian international. Yep. Mudryk reminds me of him. I think Mudryk is actually much more technically gifted.
Much better player than Zhikov.
Yeah, much better player. Similar pace and dribbling abilities on the left wing end. It didn't work out for him in the long run. I remember Zhikov and I liked him. And said I'm satisfied with all things Chelsea. God has answered your prayers. Okay. Glory be to God. And Vic is in the house. Nice to see you, Vic. I do hope you're doing well. Let's see what arguments it brings. I'm guessing another agenda. What pathway?
Really?
I knew that was why he started with a laughter.
I knew as well.
Oh my goodness, I don't like this guy. What pathway for Mark Gui, Morella, Washington, and Angela? Angela, do not see it that way. The players joined because it's a Chelsea, just this long-term contract, and they have nothing to lose. That's a chance that may well be the case. But if you're good enough, you start. But here's the thing, in all honesty, Dante, these players that Vic mentioned here, if we're being truthful, in the case you can say, in the case of Morella, it was just an opportunistic signing. We signed them knowing that
exactly,
if we
coach.
tie him down,
yeah,
yeah, we knew if we tie him
as well.
down,
you can't compare Gui either.
Yeah, if it doesn't work out, we can move him on. You can say the same with Mark Gui. I get it. There were arguments there that he has something to offer. But I'm just gonna go. But what I think it was Julian Barag. Was he the first the person that broke the news, saying how it was just again too good of an opportunity to pass by? That we'll sign him. If it doesn't work out, there's no way we'd sell him for $5 million. Was it how much we paid for him? How much did we pay for him?
Yeah, that much. Yeah, that's
that much. So there's no way we'd sell him for. I think we'll get around 20 million for him.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
He's only 18, coach. He's got plenty of improving to do. Like, there's no
Yeah,
rush. There's no
no
rush
rush
with
for
him.
him. And so, in all honesty, I'd say, yeah, some of them we weren't signing. We didn't sign some of them, knowing that, yeah, again, with the belief that they'll all get to play for Chelsea Football Club. No, Angela Gabriel maybe at the time. Washington, that's the one I can't stop asking questions for. We paid something close to, or maybe north of 20 million pounds for him. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I've argued,
No, no, no.
is it that we
18,
overestimated
17
his
point
abilities
something.
as a player and paid that much money for him? But you could argue also he's still very young and he's doing well with the academy. He's scoring tons of goals. He
He's
doesn't have to
scoring
be
every
part of this
game.
bus team. Go ahead.
He's scoring or assisting every game so far in the reserves. So he's doing very well. It's that one's a bit of a head scratch. I'm not sure what's happening with that one there, but I, I keep coming back to this. There is so many other factors involved in football, not just that. Off the field, fitness. There's so many other things that can happen and that can be involved that we don't know about, we don't hear about. So yeah, I don't look at it that way. Like for Gui, for example, Gui's actually got his chance. He's actually played.
No, call him Gooey.
Actually, there was a part. He had an opportunity. Gui. He had a chance, coach. He played. He played preseason. He played for us. He came on as a substitute in games. He played cup games. He actually, for an 18-year-old, that's quite good. That's not a. He's actually had good play time, to be honest. And Moreira, yeah, he
And
never
he
really
did
made it.
well. It's just that he didn't have, like you said, didn't have the goals to show for it.
He hasn't had the just that maturity is not quite there yet. That strength and that body strength and that finishing is not quite there yet. But he's growing into his body. He's a big guy for 18. He's gonna change, and like you said, he's gonna get much better slowly. But that's why we bought him, to make money on him. That's one of the big reasons we bought him as well. Let's not beat around. That's why we bought him. Moreira the same. Free. We already made good money on him. Selling him on loan first. We got money for him on loan, and then we got money for selling him as well. So we've
But
already made
20
good money on
million
him.
for what's his name? 20 million for Washington. I wouldn't say we bought him just to sell him because he would
He
take
was 18. He was
a
18
lot
million, coach.
more. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
18 million for Washington. He's the only one that I would say that why do we pay that much? It could be an agreement with the club. Who knows what it was? For there's a lot of willing and dealing going around. Sometimes they make deals for players to try to get other players or to get other things happen. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of other things people don't see that happen. That why we get them and why we pay that much money. It's a lot of business stuff that happens that level, that a lot of it is not even football related, but it just happens because they need the finances to happen. So there's a lot of things like that. But yeah, he's the only one. He's actually performing well. I've watched him in the reserves this season. He's done very well. He's scored and assisted in pretty much every game so far. He's been doing very well. So yeah, he's a bit lightweight. That's, I think, could be a problem. He's a bit light. He's quite skinny. Doesn't weigh much. He gets pushed off the ball very easily. So that could be a reason. The physicality, maybe
But
they
he's
want
still
him.
very young. How old is he?
Yeah, he's 19.
He's still very
Yeah.
young. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
not too concerned in his case. But it just sounds, it just, the whole thing comes across as if we overestimated his abilities. I don't know, but we'll find out really. Go ahead if you were still speaking.
Yeah, and Vic saying, "What about Matos and Kellyman?" Again, I'm going back to you. Business. It's about a lot of it is about business, not just footballing. And we know
I
what
mean,
business.
Kellyman's case was really obvious given what happened.
Yeah,
I get it. There's a footballer in him. He has a talent, but the way
correct.
the whole thing what happened at the time, it was, you could say, uh, it was a transaction done just to help us balance the books. But go ahead,
Correct.
what you were
Yeah,
saying,
but
Dante.
he's a very sought after young player that a lot of the clubs wanted him. And we just saw an opportunity again, and it helped getting the other player the other way, and we took it. He's one for the future. If he works out, he works out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We took a risk. And that's what clubs do. This is what they do. They're always going to do it. And there's always going to be players like this that don't make it, that we sign and you never hear of them ever again. it's always happened. It's always
I mean,
been
there's
there.
nothing new there.
It's
You
nothing
can,
new at all.
if
It's
you
always
go
been there. It's
back
always
10 years, you
happened.
still find a
But there
few.
is I still disagree with Vic. There is a pathway for the players that have the quality, and because these are the players we're talking about, they're not at that same quality as Messinho or Payers. They're not even close. We're talking about international player Payers at 18 wearing the number 10 shirt for Ecuador. That's a big thing. Messinho scoring, assisting, just his overall game, brilliant dribbler, brilliant for his young age. He looks every bit the generational kind of talent we were talking about. He's one of those type of players. So those are completely different compared to these other players that Vic is mentioning. Those players have a pathway 100%.
Yep, thank you so much. We're getting there. Just about 130 more views to get it to 1,000 views. We're waiting to get that to that number. It's about pathways. Our current academy players will not be walking away. It's business. Lord Dante, I think he understands, and he did talk about that too. Abramovich's success in London put us in this position. That's deep. Let's see. Dante really thinks that Matters and Kellyman were thinking about pathways, pathway when they joined Chelsea. It's business. I think Dante knows that, and maybe one listen. We did talk about how his was more like a transaction at the time that happened to help both clubs, the clubs involved in that transaction, balance the books. We knew again, even though yes, he's a good player. If you've researched him, he has the talent, but his age at the time actually tells us he's not getting a place in this team, and he plays in a position where we're packed. He'd have
Correct.
to be something special to get a chance to play in that position. Go ahead, if you're saying something else.
Exactly, coach. The position is important, obviously. He's everything he said there is correct, and I have agreed with him. And I said exactly the same thing. I just said for those players, like even Gui, for example, it was there, and they're still in the pathway. Gui's still in the pathway. He's in the team. He's playing Europe. He's playing games.
Yeah.
He's in the team. Yeah, so he's still playing. So there is pathway for him, 100%. Washington is the only one that I question, like I said, and just no, his
And that's
pathway
down to
was
how much we paid for him.
yeah, correct, yeah, 100%. But it could be a business thing as well. Let's not, we don't know. It could be a business thing as well with some of the Brazilian clubs. It might have been something to do with, maybe we do this, they get that. Then we 100% get also Messinho as well. So you never know. It can be connected. But it's definitely a pathway, and for those players especially, and the club said it. A lot of the clubs already made statements about it. They're not coming and going on loan to players. They can't.
Yeah. Yeah, Dante, anything else you want us to talk about? Otherwise, let's call it a day. 120, it can happen.
Good.
Subsequent people can still find it and watch it. We'll make just to get to 100 views, 1,000 views, just to 80, but that's fine. We can just wait for that. Anything else?
We're good, coach.
And
We've
I
gone
don't know
well.
how your schedule is for the day, but I'll send you a link when we start the show on the other channel. Who's that one for? Yeah, I think it's about what's that show for actually? But news, yeah, just news. But you don't have to. But thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vic, for finding the time to join us. Thank you. Who else was here? Namaya Fawale Khan, Julius Amo, Mike, and Ian, bro. I appreciate you and GFC. Gobin! Nice to see you. All of you in the chat. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers. And please, as the show stops, you'll be redirected to our sister channel. If you haven't, go subscribe. We'll be carrying that particular channel along. Invite your friends that aren't Chelsea fans that'd like to be part of the conversations there. We're looking for more panelists also to join us there. Much love to you, Vic. I know you probably at work, but I appreciate you joining. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.